Welcome into the Cooling Center Studios in WBGU 88.1 FM, your home for Bowling Green women's basketball. Myself, Ben Korak, along with Holden Ruck, bringing you a little bit of a abbreviated pregame show today, as some circumstances outside of our control has kind of brought our pregame to a short, but we're excited to be talking to you guys. Bowling Green women's basketball in a game today against Defiance College, which is an NAIA school. So this will not count toward Defiance's record, will count toward Bowling Green's record. But before we get started talking about the two teams, Holden, how are you feeling today?
Pretty good. It's a cold one out there, but we're here in the studio, and Bowling Green's been a little bit hot. 3 wins in a row, so
yeah. Actually,
stack 'em up.
Yeah, very beautiful outside as well. Unfortunate that you got to play basketball indoors, but the Bowling Green women's basketball team are in a 3-game win streak. Alaska Anchorage up in Alaska, 67-63 victory. Purdue Fort Wayne then 56-53 in their first home game of the 2025-2026 season. Purdue Fort Wayne, a pretty good team in a 3-point game there, and then an absolute walloping of a game against Kentucky State. Holden, that was maybe their statement victory of the year, but Kentucky State certainly not the level of opponent that they played earlier on in the year with Marquette, South Carolina, and Wisconsin.
Yeah, I mean, surely, a lower level of competition there. But again, you look to that first quarter of that game, 27-0 in favor of the Falcons. That's a statement against any team, any way you slice it, to me.
Yeah, it certainly is a very big win for the Falcons, who are just 2 games away from starting Mid-American Conference play against Kent State on December 20th in the Stroh Center. They will actually not go on the road until just after that game. Well, they'll go up to Ypsilanti on December 30th. So they're wrapping up non-conference play, at least in the kind of preseason segment of their regular season. Defiance, I'll talk about them a little bit, Holden. Not the greatest team, and even for NAIA team, they're 3-7 overall on the season. They are on a couple of game win streak before their last couple of games, so they did win a couple. But Eastern Michigan, that's the most comparable opponent that they've played to Bowling Green, they lost 96-44, so a pretty big loss there for the NAIA team.
Yeah, and I think, knowing what comparable teams to Bowling Green have done against Defiance and, looking at the outside factors of this game, they're on the 3-game win streak. This 6-game homestand is the longest homestand in program history per the athletics site for Bowling Green, and you're coming off of your biggest win, like by margin in program history. I think this is another one where you're just looking to chalk it in the win column and keep chugging along, keep building momentum as you work towards conference play here.
Yeah, another player that, or another team that both Defiance and Bowling Green will have in common within the next couple of weeks is Lourdes, who Defiance has already played. They lost 100-47, which is a similar ratio of the points scored by Eastern. So you look down the line for Bowling Green women's basketball, you see Lourdes and you see a comparable team to a MAC team, I'd say, and how they played against Defiance. So the next couple of games will be interesting for the Falcons to see how they adjust to playing opponents an opponent today that might be quite the lesser, and an opponent that might be the equal of the Falcons, both games in the Stroh Center. The biggest theme this season so far, Holden, has been 2 players for Bowling Green women's basketball. It's been Janaea Donahue and has been Paige Kohler. Paige Kohler, the facilitator of the offense, and what doesn't Janaea Donahue do for this women's basketball team?
I mean, for such a young player, already just so impactful. I mean, Donahue, I think coming into this season, a lot of people look to Paige Kohler, kind of the veteran now as a junior and a leader on this team, look to her to be the number 1 player. And in a lot of ways, she is that. But Janaea Donahue, just as a sophomore, her impact on the floor is really incredible. And I think she's quietly cementing herself as like 1B to Kohler's 1A. You know what I mean? They feel very interchangeable as kind of that number 1 option to me.
Against Kentucky State, only played 21 minutes, and not due to her playing poorly, but why play her when you're already up by 40 points? She had 13 points, 8 steals, 4 total rebounds, and 6 assists. She was on pace after the first half for a quadruple double, I believe, which she was never going to get because she was probably not going to play the full game, but also went 4 for 6 from the field, 1 for 1 from 3-point range, and 4 for 6 from the free throw line. So an impressive day there. Against Purdue Fort Wayne, that was a more comparable opponent for Bowling Green, played in a 3-point game. Donahue had 12 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, and 7 steals. And that was against a team that played pretty even with the Falcons. So she's even been impressive in games that have been tighter, and you definitely look for her to maybe get the stats, get some confidence back, and then hopefully she doesn't have to play too much in the second half today.
Yeah, and I mean, you're really just seeing like a lot of versatility from these top couple options, Donahue and Kohler. I think the team team is really looking, especially through, what I would call an easier stretch in this schedule. I think they'd like to see certainly who else can kind of step up and be that next big contributor next to Kohler and Donahue. And, I think today against the Defiance College team that, by all rights shouldn't be too much competition realistically for Bowling Green, I think it's a good opportunity for some of those players who've maybe contributed less in the stat box to really make their mark and show like, hey, I'm ready to play, I'm ready to be that next level contributor, I'm ready to take that next step.
Defiance, the opponent of Bowling Green women's basketball today. 5 or 6 three-pointers have been made every single game of the season until their last game played on December 3rd against Kentucky State. Had the Falcons 11 three-pointers in 26 attempts, a 42% three-point percentage, which is their best on the season pretty much by far. The next closest is 31% on the first game of the year at Louisiana. So definitely nice to see them have a game where they shot well from three-point range, Holden, but definitely something you want to look toward the rest of the season and getting Paige Kohler activated from three, some of the forwards activated from three as well, and just get a more rounded offensive attack that doesn't, revolve around taking free throws and just taking layups.
Yeah, and I think, you look at that shooting performance against Kentucky State, basically your best of the year. When you're playing like softer competition, teams that are generally going to be weaker than you, I think it's really easy for their numbers to be inflated without necessarily, improving the performance on their own merits, as opposed to just kind of, feasting on a weaker defense. So I'd really, really like to see that continue to trend upward, Bowling Green getting to the point where, they're taking these good quality chances regardless of who's defending them, and they're not just, feeding on a defense being caught out of position, on a worse team. So I would certainly like to see them continue to keep that number up today. I think that would be a good indication that they're gearing into the level of play they need to be at entering Mid-American Conference play soon.
We'll take a real quick break here, bring you back for just a couple more minutes of our pregame here for Bowling Green women's basketball, and then you'll hear from Adam Duffin and Dan Ridenour from the Stroh Center. They have the call of Bowling Green women's basketball against Defiance today. You're listening to BG women's basketball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hi everyone, it's Erica Porter with Bowling Green Women's Basketball, and here's my Falcon 4 favorite activities off the court. I do like to go shopping in my free time. If I'm back home in New Jersey, I do love to go to New York City and go thrifting in like the Soho area. I do like hanging out with, my hometown friends. I could do absolutely nothing with them as long as I'm in their presence. I love it. And what would my last one be? Oh, being around my sister because I don't see her a lot.
WBGU 88.1 FM presents Jazz Unlimited. Hello, I'm Mark Zaborny, host of Jazz Unlimited. Join me for a live edition of the program starting at 9 on Wednesday mornings with additional broadcasts on Thursday and Friday. I'll share a mix of jazz compositions from over the years on Northwest Ohio's community radio station and streaming at bgfalconmedia.com.
Back here in the Cooling Center in WBGU 88.1 FM, Bowling Green women's basketball against Defiance College coming up in just a little bit. Myself, Ben Korak, along with Holden Ruck. Holden, you got some keys to the game for Bowling Green women's basketball today.
Yeah, I really do think, no pun intended, that the ball is in the court of the Falcons today for how this game goes. Number one, for the Falcons, just jump out early, get on the scoreboard, get some shots early, and don't let Defiance jump out to any kind of lead. When you see teams like these, mid-major NAIA or lower level, competition get these rare upsets. We saw Northwood beat Western Michigan at the start of this basketball season on the men's side. Those kinds of games happen when those teams get, an early spark and they build that momentum and confidence, and then suddenly the favored team finds themselves reeling. So for the Falcons, I think it's really, really critical for them to not give up any early lead to Defiance.
Certainly things to look for. You're going to hear some other things to look for from Dan and Adam, who are in the Stroh Center, and going to bring you the call of this Bowling Green women's basketball game in just a minute. You're listening to Bowling Green women's basketball here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
The BG News is Bowling Green State University's campus newspaper, published Wednesday, offering items of general interest to the broader campus community, including top local campus and city news, and state, regional, national, and international news events of significance. Key Magazine and The Obsidian are magazines that print once a semester. The BG News, publishing weekly information and entertainment from Bowling Green State University.
You are listening to Falcon basketball coverage live on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Welcome to the Stroh Center. Adam Duffin joined alongside by Dan Ridenauer as Bowling Green hosts Defiance. Bowling Green Division I, while Defiance is NAIA. This game will be an exhibition for the Yellow Jackets. Starting lineups being announced, and we'll tell them right here as Defiance rolling out the starting five of Shawnee Little, Taylor Haynes, Lorena Caparros, Jordan Wynn, and Kayla Houston. Their 5 leading scorers so far on the year. Bowling Green has Kaya Woods, Paige Kohler, Taya Ellis, Jasmine Fern, and Jonea Donahue. Donahue, Kohler, and Ellis have started every game for the Falcons so far. Dan, what should we expect in today's matchup?
We're going to expect a high-scoring game, without a doubt. It's going to be a lot of that going around, every team trying to anticipate what they're going to do, what they're going to want. And Bowling Green currently, as Holden said in the pregame, the ball is in their court. They control their momentum. They control their energy right now. So overall, if you can take that knowledge coming into the game, it's going to be all the way ahead for Bowling Green.
Bowling Green coming off a win against Kentucky State, where they won 103-32. It's a 71-point win, their largest win in program history. And 103 points is the most that Falcons women's basketball has had at the Stroh Center. And their most points all the way back since November 2004. Again, you and I weren't born the last time they scored that many points, so definitely an impressive showing. Right now, both teams breaking out of their huddles as the Falcon 5 is on the floor. And it should be Taya Ellis doing the tip-off duties for the Falcons. And Kayla Houston will be alongside Ellis at center court as we are ready to get things underway. Defiance led by Courtney Pay, her 3rd season as their head coach. While the Falcons are led by Fred Shamil, who's also entering his 3rd season, has had an impressive home record and looking to stay undefeated at home in this season.
Shamil certainly had a tenure without a doubt here at BG so far, one that's respected, one that, the players admire. I mean, from the win against Toledo next year and all of that.
Falcons win the tip and quickly get in the corner to Jasmine Fern, who hits the 3. Jasmine Fern inserted into the starting lineup the past couple games and hits from beyond the arc to get it going in Stroh Center. Quickly up the floor, stolen away by Kaya Woods. Woods trying to get to the basket, got her shot blocked, rebounded by Donahue, and she makes it an easy 2.
And that's great. Why you have to have that second one go right in, just be able to get that rebound point. Now Bowling Green's going to be up 5-0 right out of the gate.
Right there was a steal by Kaya Woods, but Donahue involved in the play, had 8 steals last game, and quickly down the floor is blocked away by Taya Ellis.
A big play there for Ellis, and one you wanted to see. I mean, you talk about the blocks that she's able to contribute to this team. 7th in the Mid-American Conference last season for the blocking. It's just going to be a huge part of her defense.
Taylor Haynes tried to go inside, and Ellis went soaring through the sky to block that one. Now Haynes again takes a shot, rebounded by Ellis. Quickly up the court to Donahue. Fern, left corner, hits that 3. Jasmine Fern, back-to-back trays.
Fern out of nowhere today, just standing strong, standing on point right now. And, you look at her game against Anchorage, got 9 points. We're going to see more of that tonight.
Quickly driving to the basket is Kayla Houston, misses that one. Long tip-out rebound over towards Little. Little misses, rebounded by Ellis. Donahue, nice pass inside through some defenders, but Kohler fell down. Gathered by Fern now, and Fern has that 3 go long from the right side. Bring it down the floor is Lorena Caparros. Defiance trying to slow it down before Kayla Houston drives hard with her left hand and gets the and one. Kayla Houston gets Defiance on the board.
First point scored today by the Defiance Yellow Jackets, so just a huge turn of events here. I mean, a team that, you know, has kind of been lacking scoring this season overall. Just you look at the way they've gone, they've only scored 622 points. They've given up 898, so they're going to have to score more today.
Houston hits the back iron on that free throw, and it's rebounded by Donahue. Houston's the second leading scorer for the Yellow Jackets. Donahue inside to Ellis. Ellis fakes a spin move, goes to the left side of the basket, and has it go down. 10-2, Bowling Green up early with 8 minutes to go in the first. Caparros drives inside, passes it down low over to Jordan Wynn, who misses that one. Now pass up the floor, Donahue to Kohler, and Kohler gets fouled.
Great drive there by Kohler to try to get that one in. Trying to go on the right side a little bit there, wasn't quite able to work out. Going to see the foul and bring it to it, but Bowling Green up by 8 right now with 7:39 left in the first quarter. Both teams, though, also have one foul apiece.
The Falcons shot 5 times the free throws of Kentucky State in their game on Wednesday, and now Kohler misses the first free throw here on Military Appreciation Night as the BG logo in stars and stripes on the scoreboard, and the second free throw is good for Kohler. She's the leading scorer for the Falcons on the season, 14.1 points per game. And Taylor Haynes brings it down the floor, guarded closely by Kaya Woods before switching on to Kohler. Pass outside, Caparros drives, has it blocked by Taya Ellis. Defiance only has one player over 6 foot, Taya Ellis, dominating the paint like she has the past couple games. Now Kohler drives to the basket, left-handed layup. Help defense was not there. Taylor Haynes, only a sophomore from Cleveland, Ohio, as she gets fouled by Kaya Woods there.
Kaya Woods really trying the heavy defense that we saw for a guard. The senior just trying to bring the heavy pressure, but it's going to be the second foul today for Bowling Green, and a bit of a throw-in action now for Defiance, and it looks like also we're going to see Donahue playing heavy defense on this throw-in.
And Emily Cecil will check in for Kaya Woods as she immediately pokes the ball away from Haynes. Haynes, good bounce pass inside, and that one will not fall. It swirled in and out as Little just couldn't get it to go off the backboard. Now Kohler drives down the floor quickly. Little hesitation in the air on her layup, and Kohler gets that one to go.
Another one for Kohler, a huge opportunity to take advantage of her 5th point today, just 2 for 2 in the field goal already.
Cecil couldn't stop the drive to the basket by Haynes, but Taya Ellis comes in and helps.
Ellis been a huge just defensive player today, just seeing her, and you know, the forward junior, just looking forward to that. I mean, you see the block earlier that occurred, and then you're seeing more of that action overall. It's just a heavy defensive player today for the Falcons.
It went off the Yellow Jackets, so it's Bowling Green ball right now as Taya Ellis, you were just mentioning, already has 2 blocks and 4 rebounds. Donahue swings it around. Fern in the right corner, has it go off back iron. Taya Ellis, long rebound, had it but couldn't plant her feet inbounds.
Right in the corner, just on the far side by the Defiance bench, and you know, as you said, just couldn't plant her feet. Was really close though, going to result in a throw-in for Defiance.
Good hustle there by Shawnee Little, who has the ball now. Only 5'3" and battled Ellis the whole way for that rebound. Ellis passes it to Houston. Houston loses the ball. Fern dives on the floor, and the Falcons have possession again. Cecil's the one bringing it down the floor. Passes it in the right corner. Paige Kohler for 3. Has that go off the back of the iron. Long rebound, Taya Ellis gets it, drives inside, goes up strong, and gets fouled.
A close drive, and you know, we've seen Bowling Green so far today. They're going to tend more to drive it on the right side of the court and play offense there, but a little bit more on the left we see. Kind of switching things up a little bit here early, Adam.
Yeah, Bowling Green, in this situation, you have time to experiment offensively against an NIA team, switching up your lineups as you want, as we will see a switch as Lauren Gherkin goes in for Jasmine Fern. And that first free throw is good from Ellis. As it is now 16-2. Bowling Green up with 5:50 in the first period. And the second one good as well. And substitution as Janea Donahue will be taken out for Joniah Bland-Fitzpatrick. Inbound to Hayes is heavily contested by Cecil, and now the ball is given over to Allie Moen. Now driving hard to the basket, Little looking for help around the free throw line. Finds it in Haynes. Haynes drives left on Cecil, spins out of it, passes it out for three. Right wing, Lorena Caparros hits it from outside as Defiance has their first three-pointer of the night. Kohler passes it right wing to Gherkin. Gherkin fakes the pass inside. Falcon swinging around before Kohler on the left wing. Nothing but nylon for Paige Kohler. Falcons up 20-5 with 5 to go in the first.
Just a huge play there for Kohler. I mean, so far this season averaging 12.2 points. And, you know, overall beyond that, Kohler just been huge. Another three-pointer to make the lead up to 15.
Kohler already at 8 points, and on the other end, Emily Cecil will pick up the foul as she was guarding Taylor Haynes. Haynes, leading scorer for Defiance, 12 points per game. As we head into a media timeout, this timeout is brought to you by Juniper Brewing Company. You can find their menu at juniperbrew.com. You're listening to Falcon Women's Basketball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
For the second straight year, Falcon Media Sports Network is partnering with WBGU PBS to broadcast Falcon men's and women's soccer matches. Tune in to WBGU PBS YouTube's live streams to hear Lucas Kleinmeyer, Henry Costco, and other Falcon Media Sports Network talent on the call.
Mark Zaborny here, host of WBGU FM's Jazz Unlimited. Listen to Jazz weekdays from 9 a.m. until noon with special live in-studio editions every Wednesday. I'll spin classic jazz standards and the latest jazz releases. That's Jazz Unlimited, weekdays from 9 until noon on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU 88.1 FM.
Join the Zig Zone Sundays from 4 to 6 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Welcome back to the Stroh Center. Adam Duffin joined alongside by Dan Ridenauer for Falcon Women's Basketball as Bowling Green is up 20-5 over Defiance in the first 5 minutes of play. Dan, what have you noticed so far in this one?
I've noticed kind of the similarities that Defiance has seen throughout the entire season so far. I mean, you know, Ben and Holden kind of touched on it a little earlier, just being a slow year for Defiance, a little rough. 3-7 so far on the season. I mean, this is a team that's given up close to 900 points and have just matched that today. Currently, you're seeing that, and I think they could get to 1,000 given up so far this season already in only their 11th game. But, I mean, you look at the most recent opponent they played is also a MAC opponent in Eastern Michigan. That was a 96-44 game, Adam, and they only had 2 points in the second quarter. So while they have gotten more than that, it's been a slow game for them so far. Currently only at 5 points scored so far today.
Yeah, Courtney Pay is their head coach, her third season. In her first one, they went 0-25. Last year, they had 3 wins. This year, they already have 3 wins. They're trying to build it up over time, and Defiance will inbound from underneath the basket on the left side. Taylor Haynes, their leading scorer, will inbound. Haynes looking for help, and 5-second violation. Haynes didn't get the ball in as the Falcons playing great defense like defensive backs in the NFL.
Well, absolutely. Just the defense has been critical for Bowling Green so far today. And you look at that and you just could kind of sense it that they weren't going to get the ball out in time.
Kiara Miller, the freshman, was the one that brought it up the floor before Joniah Bland-Fitzpatrick drives to the right block, looking for help, bunched up on the outside as the ball is tipped away, recovered by Bland-Fitzpatrick, then eventually swung around over to Cecil, who gets fouled by Shawnee Little.
So the third foul today for Defiance, and Bowling Green in a little bit of the same boat. They've got 3 as well, so 6 total, and we're going to see a little bit of a switch up here. Adam, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, Jaden Cook will sub in for Taya Ellis. Both towering defenders and offensive players for Bowling Green, as Cook spun inside, missed a short hook shot. Long rebound for Haynes. And quickly stolen in transition as Mowen had it taken away by Kiara Miller, jumping in the air.
Just the guard there, and Miller just getting a really big, just right at the center court and getting the big block. Bowling Green just to extend their lead 22-5.
Shawnee Little passes, has it stolen by Gherkin. Gherkin throws it up ahead to Miller, but that one ends up getting taken away by Kayla Houston, as Gherkin just didn't have enough touch on that pass.
So we'll see a foul here, and it looks like it's going to go against Bowling Green, and going to be another pass in for Defiance. Hopefully we'll avoid a 5-second violation like last time.
In the backcourt, Bland Fitzpatrick not making it easy for Mountain to get the ball. Mountain gives it over to Haynes. Haynes now to Little. Little drives hard to the right side of the basket, has it blocked by Gherkin. Gherkin gets to her own rebound off the block and throws it up ahead to Kiara Miller. Miller driving left side, throws it into the right corner. Emily Cecil has that one hit the front of the iron and quickly rebounded by Kayla Houston. Houston passes it left wing. Mowen gives it right back to Houston, driving left side of the basket and gets fouled by Kiara Miller.
So Miller just getting into it again, but, you know, been really strong seeing her on defense so far today. I mean, her, Ellis, and Woods have been the big 3 defensively so far today for Bowling Green, and then also the three-pointer from Cecil just right in the corner. They've been trying those all day today. They're just going a little over to the right. It's about time, so we see a corner 3 today, Adam.
Donahue and Kohler both sub back into the game for the Falcons, as the first one is good from Kayla Houston. She is second on the team with 10.5 points per game and tied second with 5.1 rebounds. Second one is no good, 22-6 with 3:20 in the first period. Donahue dribbling it up towards the top of the key, gives it to Gherkin on the right wing. Lauren Gherkin misses that one and rebounded by Mowen. Mowen throws it up the head to Haynes. Now underneath the basket, little clutch layup there from Morgan Crow, as she had to wait for Donahue to jump. Quickly in transition, though, the Falcons get the points right back as Paige Kohler gives it to Lauren Gherkin.
A strong breakout, just going from Kohler to Gherkin there, and you see that's just been critical. Now we have a Kobe score right now, 24-8.
Donahue tries to get the steal, falls to the ground as Crow drove by her. Now swung around up to Houston. Houston driving left side of the basket, has it blocked away by Lauren Gherkin.
So Gherkin going to choose to chime on in there, and I mean, just going off the bench when we played when Bowling Green played Purdue Fort Wayne, and we were at that game, Adam. I mean, you see the 2 blocks she had have been really critical to see. So now we're just kind of getting down near the end of the first quarter here. Only 2 minutes and 39 seconds left, and Defiance is going to have to throw it in again.
Mowen inbounds it over to Wynn. Wynn trying to motion back for Mowen to get it. Houston from the left corner has that one fall short. Donahue jumps up for it, makes a pass up to Bland Fitzpatrick, and she just misses that one, and it goes out of bounds off of a couple Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, just a little short. We saw that happen, and I mean, overall, it's going to be interesting to see now what can result from it, and overall, but we're going to get Donahue to throw it in, and Bowling Green going to try the offense again.
Donahue gives it to Kohler in the left corner. Kohler misses that, rebounded by Donahue. Easy layup for her underneath.
Why the recovery is so important, Adam, in the rebound. Just another example of Bowling Green getting points off the missed shot, and then the rebound here again.
Mowen passes it over to Crow. Crow drives to the right side looking for help, gives it back to Mowen on the right wing. Pass underneath, stolen away by Donahue. Donahue has a breakaway, only trailed by Houston, and Donahue finishes it and one. Janea Donahue. Steal and score, something she's done all season long.
A big drive there for Donahue. I mean, so far this season, averaging around 13.4 points per game, and just overall been a huge deciding factor. And what you want for her. And, kind of in Northwest Ohio as well, just going from Swanton and, seeing that happen. We're going to see her, though, go up for the free throw.
Donahue tied for 7th in the nation with 34 steals heading into this one and makes that free throw. Donahue also currently leading the MAC in steals, as she had 8 against Kentucky State, all of those coming in the first half. The school record is 10, so she wanted to probably play more in that second half and try to get that record. Now up the floor, Falcons try to double team. Quickly pass back to Little, and Little hits a little mid-range shot from just within the free throw line, as it's 29-10 now. Bowling Green up top with 1:30 to go. Quickly down the floor, Jaden Cook gets the feed from Donahue, and the Falcons respond quickly again after a basket.
Just a big play there for Cook. 6'3", just a huge deciding factor. Almost a little bit of a sky hook there, like Kareem, just able to lob that one in there.
Shawnee Little was guarded by Donahue, decided to pass it out to Caparros. Caparros drives hard to the left side, just can't get that to go over the hands of Jaden Cook. Kohler with the rebound, drives to the left side of the basket, and Kohler gets fouled as she goes up. She'll have another trip to the free throw line.
Drove it all the way to the court, Adam, and we saw that just go across our screen almost, just seeing that, and going to go right back up again, and was so close, but just that last second foul took that one away.
Couple subs will happen here as Lauren Gherkin and Jaden Cook will come off the floor for Taya Ellis and Jasmine Fern. Kohler swishes the first free throw as she is up to 9 points now, leading the Falcons. And the second one also nothing but net. Kohler, first player in this game to reach double digits. 33-10 with a minute to go. Falcons over the Yellow Jackets. Crow, guarded by Donahue, passes it over to Caparros. Caparros over to Houston. Houston top of the key, looking for a pass underneath, and that one will sail out of bounds as Little just couldn't get it in time.
Exactly. Little was the intended target there. Just the freshman just so close getting a hold of that one there, but just a little miscommunication. It's going to result in Bowling Green getting a ball with less than a minute to go in the quarter.
40 seconds left. Kohler looking for help on the outside. Backdoor pass to Donahue. Donahue swings it across the court. Falcons continue to move the ball around before Donahue in the left corner lets it go, has that one fall short. Donahue jumping save from out of bounds, and it goes off the Yellow Jackets. Falcons will inbound from underneath the basket on the left side.
Huge save for Donahue to get that one right into just the court and overall, and you see that it's been a lot of just that basketball IQ almost, Adam, that she has so far this season, and really going to be a good one for a jump ball.
Kohler throws it up towards Ellis. Ellis has that one swatted away. Quickly down the floor is Little from the right side of the basket, misses. Another attempt underneath, and that one is missed as well. Jordan Wynn couldn't get that one to fall. Donahue has it. 7 seconds left in the corner. Donahue finds Kohler. 4 seconds now. Kohler all the way by the logo. Needs to get a shot off. Gets it at the horn. Just hits the front iron and doesn't go in. But Bowling Green up 33-10 over Defiance. We'll be back with more Falcons women's basketball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BG Falcon Media is an organization encompassing student media organizations at Bowling Green State University. BG24 is the video component of Falcon Media that creates a weekly live newscast every Tuesday. All videos and live streams can be found on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel and website, or BG24's Twitter account. BG Falcon Media, empowering students with creative freedom by exploring technologies and focusing on audience engagement and service to our communities.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
The BGSU women's basketball team continue their home stretch at the Stroh Center with a matchup against the Lemoyne Dolphins on Tuesday, December 16th with tip-off at 11 a.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Adam Duffin and Holden Ruck will have the call on WBGU 88.1 FM with pregame starting at 10:35.
Falcon Communications is the student-run public relations firm of BGSU Public Relations Student Society of America and BG Falcon Media. Those who join the firm create social media and feature story content for the BG News, BG24, WBGU FM, and the Bowling Green Radio Sports Organization. For each Falcon Media brand, Falcon Communication members help coordinate special events and create strategies for how to best market those events to the university community.
Now back to more Falcon basketball action live on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Welcome back to the Stroh Center. Bowling Green leading Defiance 33-10 after the first period. Adam Duffin joined alongside by Dan Ridenauer for this one, as the Yellow Jackets will have the ball to start the second period. Morgan Crow inbounding from right in front of us, looking for help as the Falcon defense is all over the place. It gets tipped into the hands of Caparros before Houston gets it on the left wing. Houston now passes it up top towards Shawnee Little. Little drives to the right, has it swatted away by Kohler, and it eventually goes out of bounds.
Big play there to get that one rolling along, and just a little bit more of that so far today, and looks like we're going to continue the trend from the first quarter.
Inbound immediately tipped away by Donahue and goes out of bounds as head coach Fred Tramiel immediately got up. He wants defensive intensity in these games, no matter the score. As Houston drives, uses her left hand, doesn't have that one go as Kohler gets the rebound. Kohler up the floor to Bland Fitzpatrick. Taya Ellis catches it, decides to tip it away as she didn't have control. 15 seconds on the shot clock now as Kohler will try to direct the play. 10 seconds now. Kohler uses a screen going left from Ellis. Still looking for help, finds it in Jasmine Fern towards the top of the key, and Jasmine Fern hits another one from outside.
A huge opportunity for Fern. I mean, we really saw her against Alaska Anchorage so far, but just a little bit more, and getting the start today got to be a huge confidence booster for her.
Little drives to the basket and gets fouled by Donahue as she went to the right. Emily Cecil was going to check into the game now. She does for Janiyah Bland Fitzpatrick.
Just interesting to see overall as well, Adam, just the way the defense has kind of been so fluid today. I mean, you saw the beginning of the game, BG was just on top of things. I mean, Taya Ellis was blocking everybody, and then so far right now, it's just seemed to kind of take a little bit of a drop, hoping for a little bit more today.
Little hits the first free throw, and you talk about defense. Last game against Kentucky State, Bowling Green, 27-0 first quarter. First time they've held an opponent scoreless in a quarter in 3 years when they did it against Detroit Mercy. Little hit the second free throw as well before a pass up the floor is tipped and goes out of bounds.
Just such a really interesting situation, Adam, that we see there. Just was almost great for the steal, but ends up out of bounds, BG ball.
Tay Ellis got the inbound from Donahue. Donahue passes it to Kohler in the right corner. Kohler ends up driving, can't get that tough layup to go. Now in transition quickly to Morgan Crow on the left wing. Looks for help in Shawnee Little. Little takes it from outside, just misses that one, rebounded by Cecil. Shanae Donahue with the ball up top. Donahue drives to the right, has it tipped away initially, and it eventually rolls out of bounds. Good defense there by Shawnee Little.
Yeah, exactly. Little has been just a deciding factor today so far for Defiance. I mean, you look at just the way she's been playing. She's been having 10 minutes so far today, and overall 2 rebounds as well on top of that.
Fern inbounds to Kohler, 17 on the shot clock. Emily Cecil, right wing. Emily Cecil hits that one as the Falcons are getting it going from downtown early.
A huge one for Cecil, now going to be 50% from the 3. Her first one made after 2 attempts so far today.
Donahue guarding Little, very far away from the 3-point line. Little gets it on the right wing, has it, falls short, doesn't hit anywhere in the basket, and Caparros tried to save it from out of bounds, but she had 1 foot out.
Tried to get it off Kohler there, but not quite able to pull through. But, I mean, overall, beyond that, looks like we're going to see Kendall Moxie check into the game now as Bowling Green drives it up the court.
Moxie goes in for Taya Ellis, and she immediately gets the ball towards the free throw line. It was swatted away. Kohler, dribble handoff to Donahue. Now Cecil right wing, passes it in the corner to Fern, has that one go long. Kohler almost had the rebound, but Jordan Wynn will win that battle. Pass to the right side, Caparros. Caparros hands it right off to Wynn in the right corner, has that hit back iron, rebounded by Kendall Moxie. Kohler dribbling it up the floor, passes it towards Donahue on the left side. Donahue drives strong, just has that one tip out. Moxie gets the rebound, throws it up, and she'll take 2 from the free throw line.
Moxie really tried to get in there and get a little bit of momentum going for Bowling Green. It was just a close one. I mean, that 6'3" frame that she has to get up there and get the point would have been critical, but nonetheless going to get some from the charity stripe now.
Moxie hasn't had much playing time throughout the season, only 3.9 minutes per game, and hits the first free throw. She did have extended playing time against Kentucky State, where everyone on the Falcons squad scored except Layla Harrison, and she'll hit the second one as well as it moves to 41-12. Bowling Green up with 7:11 to go in this second period.
Big 2 points there for Moxie to get it going, and going to be your 2 points so far today, but also the 2 rebounds, just building on the momentum BG's had on that.
Drive by Taylor Haynes through the lane, gave it to Caparros. Caparros drives strong to the right side, has a nifty layup over Moxie. Donahue quickly gets it down the floor, drives straight to the basket, has it hit off the back iron. Rebound by Kayla Houston as she won that battle over Moxie. Azaria Smith in the game now. Pass it over to Haynes. Haynes spinning, looking for help. Finds it in Caparros. Caparros drives to the left side now past Fern, but the ball is stolen by Emily Cecil, who slid right into position, and she'll pass it up to Paige Kohler, who finishes the scoop layup.
Just 2 big points, and a lot of the turnovers is where Defiance has struggled so far this season. And, you know, they had 33 against Eastern Michigan, just continuing on that momentum against MAC teams so far in this December stretch.
Paige Kohler now up to 12 points on the night. Caparros, long hook shot type of pass over to Haynes on the left side. Haynes has that one fall short. Rebounded underneath by Houston. She misses it, gets her own miss, and passes it out. Shot clock at 1, and it's held on for too long by Azaria Smith, and the Falcons will have the ball.
Difficult to kind of just match up the time with the shot clock. I mean, we seeing earlier on the inbound violation, that was one time miscommunication and then just another one. Not really on the same page so far today for Defiance.
Sophia Moskane will sub in for Kendall Moxie, and Donahue passes it to Fern on the left side. Fern pump fakes, drives hard, and finishes it with the left hand. Jasmine Fern continuing her good start as she's up to 11 tonight. Now down the floor, Houston drives, gets fouled. They're going to say it's on Fern.
Houston so far today, just in the 15 minutes she's played, I mean, looking at the field goal, she's only 1 for 5. But, I mean, overall beyond that, has 3 points so far today, and just Little, and then looking at Caparros, the other 2 that are just ahead of her, just the 3 main scores for Defiance as she'll go to the charity stripe.
Houston also played track and volleyball in high school. A lot of multi-sport athletes. A couple players on Defiance are even pursuing multiple sports while in college, as she hits the second one, 45-15, Bowling Green up as we just hit the halfway mark in this second period. Fern driving to the right side, passes it over to Cecil. Cecil misses. Tough rebound underneath. And Jordan Wynn gets it and passes it over to Taylor Haynes. Haynes drives towards the left side, try to make a backdoor pass, but it will end up out of bounds. It was swatted away by Cecil. And we will hit the media timeout with 4:57 in the second period. This timeout is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company, proud creators of Ale Ziggy Zumba, a light ale made in collaboration with BG Athletics and available at Juniper Brewing Company on South Main Street in Northwest Ohio Kroger stores. Details at juniperbrew.com. BG over Defiance 45-15. You're listening to Falcon Women's Basketball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Black Swamp Players of Bowling Green is dedicated to the advancement of amateur theatrics, including production of live theater as well as various educational opportunities involving the arts. Founded in 1965, the organization provides high-quality amateur live theater as well as opportunities to the cast, crews, and the viewing public. Visit blackswampplayers.org for more information. The premier community theater of Bowling.
Wake up every weekday with WBGU and The Morning Show. The Morning Show is a community resource for weekly events, news, sports, weather, interviews with community officials and organizations, birthday and anniversary announcements, and more. The Morning Show broadcasts live Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. from the Killeen Center at Bowling Green State University. Listen live every weekday from 6 to 9 a.m. locally on 88.1 FM or streaming online at bgfalconmedia.com.
Falcon Media Sports Network produces more feature stories about BGSU athletics than any other media outlet. Make sure to head over to bgfalconmedia.com and follow Falcon Media Sports Network at BG_FMSN on Twitter/X and BG Falcon Media on Instagram and Facebook to stay up to date with all of our content.
After this game wraps up, more coverage continues online at bgfalconmedia.com.
Welcome back to the Stroh Center. Adam Duffin joined by Dan Ridenauer. Bowling Green up 45-15 as we are halfway through the second quarter. And currently for the Falcons, Paige Kohler leading the way with 12 points, followed closely by Jasmine Fern with 11 points on 3 3-pointers.
Exactly. Kohler's been just such a strong figure today. I mean, 4 for 7 from the field goal, and then you look at the free throws, just taking advantage of that at 75%, and overall all her efforts are leading up to 12 total points for the Orange and Brown.
Caparros will inbound, throws it all the way out over towards Aziara Smith before giving it to Haynes. Haynes on the right side with 7 on the shot clock. Gave it to Houston, who lost the ball, stolen away by Cecil. Cecil drives and finishes it with the right hand. Emily Cecil up to 5 points now. Haynes calling for help, gives it over to Caparros. Caparros, bounce pass over to Haynes, double teamed by Gherkin and Cecil, spins out of it, makes a good backdoor pass to Houston. Houston misses the layup underneath, rebounded by Gherkin. Gherkin, outlet pass to Kohler. Kohler one-on-one with Caparros, drives, absorbs the contact, and Paige Kohler now up to 14 points.
Big one for Kohler there, and Bowling Green just taking advantage of the turnovers and the defensive opportunities they have.
Quickly down the floor, Haynes missed it. It was rebounded by Jordan Wynn, and she'll get the and one. Wynn already on 7 rebounds tonight, leading the game so far as Taya Ellis and Janea Donahue follow closely with 6 each. Free throw hits off the back iron, rebounded by Mose Kane, who quickly gives it to Donahue. Donahue on the left wing, looking for some help, finds it in Kohler. Mose Kane gets it, swings it over to Cecil. Cecil top of the key, still 16 on the shot clock. Donahue drives hard to the right side. And Donahue limping a little bit after she got kicked in the leg almost by Allie Moen falling over, and the Falcons will miss from the corner. Caparros got the ball from Moen and started running before she dribbled.
Well, just seeing that, hope you have a nice trip going, just traveling all the way around. But now Donahue to have the ball and Bowling Green to start on offense again.
Donahue seems to be okay after limping a little bit last possession. Gives it to Cook. Cook fakes the handoff right back. Now Kohler gets it. Kohler left side to Donahue. Cook underneath. Kohler on the left wing. Paige Kohler misses that one. Mose Kane almost had the rebound, but it was swatted away. Dribbling it down the floor is Little. Little couldn't hit that one as Kohler was following closely behind. Now Donahue pass up ahead to Cecil, and Cecil gets hit hard by Caparros like a linebacker over the middle.
Well, and Caparros seemed very remorseful, nothing intentional at all with, the collision. And Bowling Green, though, just taking advantage of that quick breakout, that quick just, we're going to have the ball on one side, get it all the way to the other, and really been kind of exploiting Defiance on that so far today and just breaking apart the Defiance defense.
The tempo has definitely been picked up so far as Kohler inbounds with the Cook. Cook got fouled from behind by Shawnee Little. Cook so far 2 points and a rebound on 2 shots in her 4 minutes of play. The transfer in from Odessa College last year, and before that she was at Eastern Carolina. She'll hit the first free throw, and the Falcons now halfway to the century mark as it's 50-17 with 2:52 to go. And now Cook hits the second one. The Falcons so far 10 for 11 from the free throw line. Just shy of 91%. Inbound, Haynes dribbles it up the floor. She's guarded by Donahue. Now Donahue switches over to Caparros. Houston tries to drive left over Ellis. Houston will get fouled underneath. Tay Ellis will pick up her first personal on the night.
So we'll see that occur, and Ellis just going to get in there and just really just result into what we've seen. But Ellis just been a huge factor on defense, and kind of, as we mentioned earlier, a bit of a roller coaster, but it seems like we're on the upward trajectory of Bowling Green defense here tonight.
Houston misses that first one. And the second one also hits towards the front of the iron. And Paige Kohler got the rebound, drives up the floor, gives it to Donahue. Donahue had it tipped away for a second. Kohler gets it, swings it in the right corner to Cecil. Emily Cecil hits from outside, her second 3 in the night.
We knew that was going to happen eventually, Adam, taking advantage of that right corner on the 3, and Bowling Green finally able to find it. That was roughly the 4th or 5th attempt, and it's finally going to connect for the Falcons, 54-17.
Quickly down the floor, Shawnee Little was fouled by Emily Cecil on her drive to the basket, and she will get a trip to the free throw line as now Defiance is in the bonus. Little's first free throw is good, and she is tied for 3rd on the team in scoring with her 9.7 points per game. So far at 5 points. Moves on to 6 as she's perfect 4 for 4 from the charity stripe. 54-19, 2:08 to go in this first half. Donahue passes to Ellis. Ellis double teamed. Good pass down low to Janiyah Bland Fitzpatrick. Bland Fitzpatrick gets her first points on the night. Haynes passes it over to Caparros. Gives it right back. Haynes drives to the right. Tries to spin away from Donahue. Now Mowen drives. Kicks it out from the left wing. Caparros drives with her left hand, and that one is off. Tay Ellis gets the rebound. Ellis brought it up the floor before giving it to Donahue. Donahue to Layla Harrison. Harrison to Bland Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick drives to the left, spins, takes a little mid-range shot, hits the front of the iron. And immediately the Falcons call for a sub. And there was a foul on the rebound attempt as well. Kiara Miller will go in for Bland Fitzpatrick now. Caparros has her first free throw go in. The junior guard from Spain, played 2 years of collegiate level basketball. And hits the second free throw as well as it moves to 56-21, Bowling Green over Defiance. 1:10 to go in the half. Kohler passes it down low towards Harrison. Harrison had her pass tipped away. She got it right back, and then she got fouled on her way to the basket by Taylor Haynes.
Really trying to take advantage of that right side now is what Bowling Green is, their kind of target almost, and now we're seeing a situation where we're going to get a inbound. We'll take it away.
Kohler passed it underneath to Donahue. Donahue missed, then rebounded by Ellis. Ellis goes back up strong, misses that one, gets her own rebound again, and on the third try, the Falcons get it go. Taya Ellis using that height.
Not giving up at all, and really, even though it took a couple of attempts, finally trying to find it and then gets it 58-21.
Haynes drives inside, pass underneath to Houston, and Houston has that one go out of bounds after it was tipped by a Falcon.
And just so far, Bowling Green going to continue on with their defensive pressure, and it's going to be an inbound for Defiance in roughly the exact same spot where we saw the original inbound violation, but going to try to avoid that this time.
Haynes looking around, gets it all the way up top to Jordan Wynn. Wynn stopped her dribble, looking for help now. Finds it in Caparros. Caparros drives to the right side. Tough layup over a couple tall BG defenders. And in transition, Donahue driving. Bounce pass over to Kiara Miller, and Miller finishes it strong. The Falcons up 60-21, only 18 seconds to go. Allie Mowen pass it to Wynn, gets it right back. Mowen tried to make a pass across the floor, and it goes out of bounds. Falcons will have the basketball with 10.9 seconds.
Another miscommunication for Defiance, especially in the realm of passing, and we're going to see just that happen again, and now we're going to have a situation where it'll be Kohler into Donahue.
Donahue gets it towards half court, 10 seconds. Makes a cross-court pass to Ellis. Ellis to Kohler from the left wing. Kohler has it hit off the front. 3 seconds. Donahue misses that one. Ellis gets the rebound and gets fouled. Correction, Layla Harrison gets the rebound and gets fouled.
So there you have it, and going to be another foul for Defiance here, and just a late break for the Orange and Brown, as now they're up 60-21. They have 1 second, and just going to go right to the charity stripe and hopefully extend this lead a little bit more as we approach halftime.
Layla Harrison, the only Falcon to not score against Kentucky State, but she gets the first free throw to go here. And the second one is also good, as the Falcons are now up 62-21. The final second goes off as Allie Mowen had no chance to score. But we reach halftime here in Bowling Green as the Falcons lead the Yellow Jackets 62-21. We will give it back to Ben Korak and Holden Ruck in the studio for the halftime show. You're listening to Falcon Women's Basketball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Don't miss The Morning Show on WBGU FM every weekday from 6 to 9 a.m. Join the Morning Show team weekday mornings to hear about local news, local weather reports, community programming, financial market reports, Coach's Show with coaches from BGSU and BGHS, and live newsmaker interviews. Listen live every weekday from 6 to 9 a.m. locally on 88.1 FM or streaming online at bgfalconmedia.com.
Back here in the Cooling Center studios, Bowling Green women's basketball with a 62-21 lead after the first half. From the Stroh Center, you heard Adam Duffin and Dan Ridenauer on the call for the first 2 quarters of play between the Falcons and Defiance. Now myself, Ben Korak, along with Holden Ruck, who's got to depart in just a few minutes, but he'll be here for the halftime show. So far, a pretty solid performance for BG thus far, Holden.
Yeah, and I really think one of the standouts is kind of what you'd expect to see from this team. Paige Kohler, a team high and game high 14 points right now on 5 from 11 shooting. A little bit shaky from 3, only 1 for 6, but 3 out of 4 of her free throws, adding on to that 5 assists and 3 rebounds. So stuff in the stat sheet a little bit so far in this first half, and Bowling Green kind of taking care of business right now, 62-21. Kind of what we expected to see, I think. I don't think there's a lot of surprises here for anybody watching this one.
It is definitely nice to see the 3-point percentage going up just a bit. Lower than it was last game, but 33% on 6 for 18 from 3-point range certainly isn't bad, and actually a pretty good showing so far from Jasmine Farron and Emily Cecil, both of them shooting 50% from the field, 3 for 6 from Fern, 2 for 4 from Cecil, who's known as maybe more of a defensive specialist at times, but it is very nice to see the 3-point tries coming in a little bit more efficiently for this team, Holding, considering that's where they've struggled mainly through the first parts of the season.
Yeah, and I always think it's really important to capitalize on your own opportunities. And the team right now, 22 out of 44 from the field, shooting at a 50% mark, certainly a recipe for success. Again, we'll see how this translates over against a team, stronger than Defiance College, who's, just kind of doing their best to stay in it at this point right now, shooting only 6 for 30, 20% for them. So, but again, that efficiency is something you always want to strive for. And, they're doing a good job of shooting at an efficient rate so far in this one.
Yeah, the pace is definitely going to be a bit off, but it's set to be on this pace for the worst loss Defiance will take this season. 124 points. Bowling Green's on pace for 42 points. Defiance is on pace for their worst loss of the season so far is 100-47 that they had against Lourdes 2 games that they played ago, and even Eastern Michigan beat them by less of a score than that pace. So Holden, what do you think the goal of the Falcons is here? I mean, they're obviously going to come away with a win. They've already had some pretty good performances, especially from Paige Kohler, that doesn't really need to have to play the second half for us to say she's had a good game. I mean, what do you look for if you're the Falcons and trying to take wins out of today?
I mean, I think you look at other, players who are in the kind of that bubble, not necessarily starters, but, your first reserves off the bench. I think you want to get them quality minutes. You're still playing against a collegiate basketball team. This NAIA team, keep struggling with that one. But they're not a slouch by any means. They're just not in the caliber of Bowling Green, and that doesn't mean that you can't get quality minutes.
Yeah.
So, players who maybe haven't shown up as much on the stat sheet yet, Moxie, Bland Fitzpatrick, players like that, get them some more opportunities. I mean, frankly, Paige Kohler and Janae Donahue, as far as I'm concerned, probably don't need to see the floor again. Are they going to? I'm sure. Going to keep putting up stats, and that's fine too. But I really think these are great opportunities to build confidence with those players who haven't had nearly as many minutes played.
Most likely, Kohler and Donahue probably going to see time coming right out of half, and then maybe as it gets later on in the half more sparse, they're going to see the floor. The only 2 players that have logged minutes but no points are Kaya Woods, who's played 3 minutes. She's taken 2 fouls, has a steal, 0 for 1 from the field, but no points yet. And Sophia Motion, 3 minutes and no stats recorded for her. So I would imagine, as you just said, Holden, that both her and Woods are probably going to see some pretty solid time in the second half. And like you said, some of those players that are kind of fringe in the lineup, fringe a couple off the bench, Janiyah Bland Fitzpatrick, Kendall Moxie. I think Jaden Cook should really dominate this half. She only played 4 minutes, had 4 points. Definitely somebody that the Falcons have to get involved, just trying to get more players involved and add some depth to their bench a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, players in the starting lineup, in particular Kohler and Donahue, your kind of 2 stars. These are players who have experience being contributors on a team, Kohler for the past 2 years and Donahue last year, that has been in, MAC tournament appearances, regardless of whether or not the wins showed up in those appearances, they still have experience being there. They've played on a bigger stage. To them, this game really doesn't mean that much besides we're going to try to get out of here with a win, do our best and just, get through it. For the other players on this team, though, there's so much more available on the table for them. It's a really, really good opportunity to, kind of show what they can contribute to this team, why they're here to begin with, and, build up some confidence so that they can be some of those key contributors as it gets closer to a potential MAC tournament push.
62-21, Bowling Green women's basketball's lead over Defiance. Defiance actually not playing too shabby of a game, all things considered, and considering the rest of their games in the season and the losses and the wins that they've taken. The two biggest struggle points, they have 13 turnovers and 1 half of play, which is a huge number of turnovers, 3 for 2 players, 2 for 2 players, and 1 for 1 player. A couple of positives, though. Jordan Wynn's having a good day from the glass. She's got 8 rebounds. She does have 3 personal fouls, as 2 of the Defiance players do. Jordan Wynn, the guard, with the 8 boards, and then the team leader in points is Lorena Caparros, who's got 7. She's 2 for 6 from the field, 1 for 1 from 3-point range, and 2 for 2 from the free throw line. So Defiance definitely looking for the little victories today, and maybe Jordan Wynn's rebounds and Caparros' points. You got to take the little wins when you can against a team that's pretty much 3 divisions above you.
Yeah, I mean, they're not, like you said, there's some, kind of individual stats that are, popping out for them. They're not, playing bad by any means. Sometimes you're just punching out of your weight class, and I think this is really one of those cases for them. And, I think for them, if they're able to, clean up some of the efficiency of their own, maybe keep this from being that biggest loss of the season, then, they're not going to walk out of the Stro being too downtrodden by the result. Obviously, it never feels good to get blown out, which, respectfully, this kind of is turning into. But at the same time, there's definitely positives to take out of it if you're either team, I think.
The only other Division I team that Defiance has played is Eastern Michigan, lost 96-44 in their last game played. Did have 33 turnovers in that game. They have 13 through 1/2, so they're actually doing better in that department today, although still not the number that you'd really want to see in those 10 fouls. Although going into the second half means a little bit less, that's certainly a number that you'd like to keep low, because as of right now, Shawnee Little and Jordan Wynn are most likely going to be out of the game at some point in the second half due to foul trouble. 62-21, Bowling Green women's basketball leads Defiance in the Stroh Center. We'll have the last half of our halftime show here, and then we'll send it back to Adam and Dan from the Stroh Center. Bowling Green women's basketball here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
The morning show on WBGU FM is brought to you by the Bowling Green Chamber of Commerce. For more information, contact The Morning Show at themorningshow@bgchamber.net. Send them any programming suggestions or information you might have. They are always looking for show ideas and guests. To have your birthday or anniversary announced, email or call the Bowling Green Chamber of Commerce at 419-353-7945. The Morning Show on WBGU.
Falcon Media Sports Network now has a pregame and postgame show, along with intermission reports for every BGSU hockey broadcast, starting 25 minutes before each game. Make sure to tune in to hear insights and knowledge from Falcon Media Sports Network analysts. You can listen to every broadcast on WBGU 88.1 FM, your home for Falcon hockey. Also streaming on bgfalconmedia.com.
Back here in the WBGU 88.1 FM studio, coverage of Bowling Green women's basketball and their game against Defiance today. The BG women's basketball team on the season so far are 4-4, so they can jump ahead to a winning record with a win today. This game does count for a win for the Falcons if they're able to do so. It looks pretty likely like they will. It will not count as a game for Defiance. It will be listed as on their schedule, but it will not count toward their overall record, as they are an NAIA institution. Around the rest of the Mid-American Conference today, the only other game going on, Miami of Ohio hosting Western Kentucky. They lead 50-29 at halftime. Western Kentucky certainly not too poor of a team, although they are 3-5 this season. That game also on ESPN+, 50-29, Miami of Ohio. One game that has finished so far, Central Michigan against a very high-quality opponent, number 17, Kentucky. Kentucky wins 82-55. Holden, that's actually, crazy it is to say. That's not actually too bad of a loss. Less than 30 points.
No, I don't think so either.
To the number 17 team.
Central Michigan 5-3 following that loss. Still a winning record. I mean, you could tell. That's a competitive score when you're looking at a power program like that, especially one known for their basketball programs in general. I don't think that's anything for Central Michigan to be sadly hanging their hat on. I mean, that looks like a competitive game to me from the standpoint of a team with MAC resources.
Yeah, at Kentucky as well. Had 2 players with double-digit points and one knocking on the door, another one with 8, so still not too poor of offensive performances around. One more MAC team taking on a pretty top-tier opponent, a ranked opponent. That's Northern Illinois at Iowa State. Iowa State is 9-0, one of the best teams in the country, and Northern Illinois will take them on at 2 p.m. Western Michigan at Loyola Chicago in Chicago. That's 1-5 Western Michigan against 2-6 Loyola Chicago. Not too great of a game there, but another game that has not yet started is Ball State and Davidson. Ball State 8-1, one of the best teams in the MAC, and Davidson 6-3, a pretty solid team in their own right. Western and Loyola Chicago will start at 2 p.m., and Ball State and Davidson will start at 4:30. So that's what's going on around the Mid-American Conference. We're here with coverage of Bowling Green's women's basketball against Defiance, maybe the easiest opponent any MAC team will play this today, actually, maybe this week as well, as Defiance and NAIA program. Holden, pretty clear that Bowling Green's going to come away with a win, but you're looking for little victories where you can find them. What do you want to see for either Defiance or Bowling Green here in the second half?
Ironically, Ben, I think my key for the second half is the same for both teams. Cut down the fouls. You got for Defiance right now, you've got 2 players with 3. You're looking at being a risk of fouling out here in the second half. You got to play, sound fundamentals and not make mistakes. Don't beat yourself when you're punching above your weight class, like I said earlier. Playing a team that is probably better than you, like they are, and they're not doing themselves any favor with those fouls. So I'd like to see them cut it down in that regard. And then on the other hand, as Bowling Green, you're the better team. You shouldn't be outpacing them in personal fouls. Bowling Green has 11 to Defiance's 10, and granted, they don't have a single player with 3 of them, so it's not like they're in as much trouble of anybody fouling out. Plus, they can dig into their bench in the second half realistically, because they don't really have to, worry about having all of their starters playing the rest of the game to still win, probably. But even so, it's just the little things. That 11 fouls, outpacing your opponent in personal fouls against Defiance is going to turn into wildly outpacing your opponent in personal fouls when you're in the MAC tournament. And, that's a time when you can't have it happening. You've got to kind of nip it in the bud early, I think. So for Bowling Green, I think you'd like to let Defiance surpass you in personal fouls, hopefully.
For the Orange and Brown and head coach Fred Shamil, some things to look for coming into the second half as the Falcons chase a winning overall record. They're at 4-4 right now. Most likely going to take a win. I don't think that's a hot take at this point. It's probably minus money by far for Bowling Green. And then they're also 2-0 at home and can make it 3-0 at home as well. The Bowling Green women's basketball team. They go into Lourdes on December 14th next Sunday, so they have a week off to play Lourdes, another NAIA program, I believe. After that, they have Lemoyne on the Tuesday, just a couple of days later. And then they start MAC play December 20th, the Saturday before Christmas time, 2 p.m. From the Stroh Center against Kent State. We will have coverage of that game. The Falcon Media Sports Network will, most likely on WBGU 88.1 FM. Recaps available at bgfalconmedia.com and BG_FMSN on Twitter. We'll hear from Adam Duffin and Dan Ridenauer in just a few minutes from the Stroh Center as they'll take us through the second half of action between the Falcons and Defiance College. You're listening to Bowling Green women's basketball here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Be part of the WBGU team. Volunteer with WBGU FM in a variety of roles, including on-air, promotions, social media, music selection, and much more. Positions are always available to students and the local community. For more information, visit the WBGU Facebook page. Volunteer with Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU 88.1 FM. The return to radio freedom.
You are listening to Falcon Media Sports Network coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM in Bowling Green, Ohio.
Ever wanted to hear what a BGSU coach or player says after a game? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to watch post-game press conferences for all BGSU home volleyball, soccer, football, hockey, and basketball games.
You are listening to Falcon Media Sports Network's women's basketball coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Welcome back to our coverage of Bowling Green versus Defiance as the Falcons lead 62-21. Adam Duffin joining alongside by Dan Ridenauer as Bowling Green ready to inbound the ball with Jasmine Fern, Kaya Woods, Paige Kohler, Taya Ellis, and Janea Donahue being the 5. Donahue will be the one to get the ball from Woods before they swing it back around. Woods lobs it up towards Donahue down low. Donahue over to Ellis, and Taya Ellis, and one.
It all begins, Adam, with Fern just on the inbound. You get the half started off. You have to get the half started off right. You see that going along, and Holden talked about it in the pregame show. You got to come out strong, and that's just a couple points that we're going to get there to start this quarter off.
Taya Ellis will hit the free throw as well, as she is at 9 points along with 9 rebounds and 2 blocks. An impressive game so far. Bringing up the floor, Shawnee Little uses a double screen. Now tries to make a pass across the court. It was tipped away. Kaya Woods has it now. Spins away. Gives it over to Donahue. Donahue to Fern. Left corner. Jasmine Fern has that one just miss. Off the long side of the iron. Rebounded by Haynes. Haynes towards the top of the key now. Passed it over to Little. Little tries to drive left on Donahue, and her shot goes long. Kaya Woods with the rebound. Passes it up towards Kohler. Kohler just has her layup missed. Rebounded by Ellis. Ellis puts it back in as Kaya Woods had a great feed to Kohler. Kohler missed it, and that helps Ellis get a double-double on the night.
The support system for Bowling Green on the rebound has been a deciding factor here, Adam, and just seeing more of that as it rolls along now.
Ellis with a double-double and just over a minute into the second half. As Little passes it over to Caparros. Caparros over to Wynn. Wynn, backdoor pass, has it taken away by Fern. Fern, crossover into a pass to Kohler. Kohler, right wing to Donahue. Donahue gave it back. Both hesitate on their shots before Jasmine Fern all alone on the left side of the court. And Jasmine Fern, her 4th 3 on the night, and tied for the team lead with 14 points.
Nobody was just by Fern at all, and an absolute just exploiting that Defiance defense, putting them up on the right side and then taking it away from there.
On the other end, a good move by Caparros into a pass to Win, but it gets swatted away by Donahue. The Falcons have 3 players in double figures, Kohler with 14, Fern with 14, and Ellis with 11. Pass in to Kayla Houston. Houston tries to make a pass underneath, gets it into Haynes. Haynes wraparound pass leads to a Caparros 3, and that one's missed. Haynes gets the rebound, has it blocked by Ellis, and rebounded by Donahue. Donahue had that tipped away. Ellis gains control, passes to Fern, over to Kohler. Kohler right wing, has that one miss. Houston gets by Donahue, takes it all the way down the left side, and hard collision. It's going to end up being a blocking foul on Kaya Woods.
Well, Woods just trying to stand there like a brick wall and get in the way of the Defiance rush, and it's gonna cost Bowling Green here, as you talked about. Going to be the foul, but it looks like they're going to rule it on Defiance, their second one of the quarter, as this will go inbound now, Donahue to Woods.
They end up changing the call there into a charge as quickly Caparros tries to steal away the pass. And we'll already see a sub here as Morgan Crow will come into the game for Kayla Houston. Crow averaging 4.5 points in each contest this year. Woods uses a screen from Ellis. Ellis got the pass down low before it was bobbled and into the hands of Jasmine Fern, as Fern up to 16 points now.
Was really perfect timing there for Fern, just standing right in the paint, was able to get that one up. Bowling Green now up 72-21.
51-point lead with 7 minutes to go in the third, and underneath. There's a foul as Morgan Crow will go to the free throw line.
The first one for Bowling Green in this quarter with just around 7 minutes flat to go. And, you know, Defiance has struggled a lot today, Adam, just from the charity stripe, and really going to see a bit more of an example of that if they can connect here.
First free throw no good as they move to 8 of 15 from the free throw line. And from the field, they are 6 for 36. That's just 16%. And the second free throw also misses. That one is off the back iron. Rebounded by Kohler before Donahue gets it. And a hard foul in transition. They're going to say Caparros will earn herself a charge. And Fred Shamil's beside himself. Donahue was trying to catch a pass, and she gets hit in transition.
Well, Coach Shamil here, you know, more of a likes to get out there, likes to make his opinion known, and is not afraid to speak his mind. And we're seeing more of that here today. But, you know, Defiance just really needs to be a little bit more humble here. But, you know, beyond that, going to have Miller, it looks like almost, but to inbound, but it'll actually be Defiance who will have the inbound now. But still, Coach Shamil going at it with the referees.
Coach Shamil wants that explanation because it seemed like that should have been Donahue's chance for a ball, and the substitution will happen as Donahue's taken out for Kiara Miller. Now passed down the floor to Morgan Crow in the left corner. Crow drives hard towards the free throw line before passing it out to Santeza Thomas. Thomas, her first minutes in the game, has it inside the paint, makes the pass to Little. Little continues to have it swatted at before a nice little floater from Crow is too long. And now Little gains the rebound on the outside. Trying to find someone down low, can't. And Fern tips it away from Little for a moment before it goes out of bounds. As the Yellow Jackets will retain possession, and the Falcons will have a whole new 5 out there as Lauren Gherkin, Jaden Cook, Emily Cecil, Layla Harrison, and Janiyah Bland-Fitzpatrick sub into the game.
So far, though, Fern has had an outstanding half nonetheless, and even with the inbound of Defiance, Bowling Green's defense standing strong, takes them a minute to get it out.
Crow tries to dribble it past Layla Harrison, runs into Gherkin. Caparros passes it over to Thomas on the left side, and the shot clock was running low, and it runs out. Second shot clock violation on the night.
A miscommunication of time, Adam, so far. I mean, that's kind of been just a bit of an Achilles heel today for Defiance, is that time management, and Bowling Green's going to get a rush now with Cecil having the ball.
Their 17th turnover in the night, and Gherkin left open on the left side. Just misses that 3. Tipped around, she gets the ball eventually into Cecil. Cecil gives it right back to Gherkin. Gherkin looking to make the pass inside, gets it into Jaden Cook. Little right hand hook shot in the paint, and Jaden Cook makes it 74-21. The Falcons continue to extend their lead. Drive by Little, and they're going to call a blocking foul on Cecil. And head coach Fred Shamil took off his glasses, and he can't believe it right now. 53-point lead, but never satisfied, as one of his slogans throughout the year has been "earn it" every time you're out on the floor. Thomas drives right side of the basket, misses that one. Long rebound over in the corner is Layla Harrison looking for help. Gets it over to Bland-Fitzpatrick. Bland-Fitzpatrick drives towards the free throw line, finds Cecil top of the key. Emily Cecil misses that one. Gherkin gets the rebound, double teamed, finds Harrison in the corner. Harrison drives towards underneath the basket, finds Jaden Cook, and Cook will get fouled. Another trip to the free throw line for Jaden Cook.
Battle in the paint there for Cook, and really was just something that we knew was going to happen, almost inevitable, but, you know, so far just 2 for 2 from the free throw line, has a 1 rebound today and 6 points. So Cook's definitely been contributing to this team effort with the 74-21 lead with 5:12 left in the third quarter.
Cook, nothing but net on the first free throw, as the Falcons only have 1 missed free throw on the night, 14 of 15. And the second one is pure as well. 76-21, just over 5 minutes in the third period. Shawnee Little brings it up the floor for the Yellow Jackets. Little uses a screen from Caparros. Caparros tries to gather it in on the right corner. Caparros drives underneath the basket, makes a pass before it's kicked outside. That three is no good, and foul underneath on the Yellow Jackets fighting for the rebound as Morgan Crow couldn't hit that three.
Lauren Gherkin for Bowling Green trying to regain possession of the ball as that one went in. I mean, so far Gherkin today has 2 points so far, but has been huge defensively.
And now we will head into our media timeout with Bowling Green leading 76-21. This timeout is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company. 145 South Main Street in downtown Bowling Green, featuring coffee and craft beer and serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. See the latest at juniperbrew.com. You're listening to Falcon Women's Basketball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Northwest Ohio's community radio station is looking for new volunteers just like you. Join our team of enthusiastic volunteers that help make WBGU 88.1 FM a success. You can get involved in many ways, including on air, behind the scenes, or at promotional events in the local community. WBGU is Northwest Ohio's community radio station. Visit our social media pages for more information.
Hey everybody, this is Kevin Hutchinson, host of The Swoop.
And this is Brooke Blake, executive producer for The Swoop. The Swoop is BG24's sports talk show about all things BGSU athletics.
New episodes come out every Thursday at 6 p.m. at bgfalconmedia.com.
At the Stro or on the road, the Falcon Media Sports Network is covering the Falcons all season.
Welcome back to the Stro Center. Bowling Green up 76-21 on Military Appreciation Day at the Stro Center, as the Falcon logo on the billboard in stripes and stars. And during the break, they just had former military members stand up and gather a round of applause, as right now they're in for a treat with the Falcons up by 55 with halfway through the third quarter, as waiting for the all clear to go, and the inbound will be to Emily Cecil from Layla Harrison. Joining them is Janai Bland Fitzpatrick, Lauren Gherkin, and Jaden Cook as the five. And now they have the all clear to go. Cecil towards the top key, directing for a screen from Harrison. Cecil throws a lob up towards Bland Fitzpatrick, who gathers it and finishes it strong down low. Little is the one to bring it down the floor. Uses a screen from Thomas before giving it over to Crow. Crow double dribbled as she lost control in the middle of her drive to the basket.
Unfortunate for Crow as the guard, just trying to get in there, and was really just a miscommunication almost. Thought she was going to go one way, but then chose to out of nowhere go the other way. But overall was looking for her fourth point of the night, wasn't able to get it.
Cecil passes it left side to Gherkin. Gherkin down low to Cook. Cook stops and finishes it strong down low, as now it's 78-21, or 80-21 Bowling Green. Falcons shooting over 50%, something they've been trying to improve throughout the season, their shooting percentage. And now on the right wing, Caparros has that one go too far before the rebound by Thomas, has it blocked by Jaden Cook, and Emily Cecil brings it up for the Falcons. Cecil in transition gets fouled by Wynn, and Wynn picks up her fifth personal. And now she is going to be out for the rest of this game.
Unfortunate turn of events for, just Defiance trying to get this momentum going, being down by so much, and really just almost an Achilles heel just for Wynn. Finished the day with 2 points and was 1 for 6 in the field goal, and then Also missed 1 free throw as well.
She did lead the team with 8 rebounds as Cecil misses that first free throw. Cecil's at 8 points and 2 steals, and now 9 points. Makes it 81-21, a 60-point lead now. Haynes will get the inbound. Haynes passes it over to Thomas, but it's stolen away by Jaden Cook. Cook goes hard to the basket, and an easy left-handed layup. Jaden Cook now up into double figures at 12. Haynes uses a screen from Thomas. This time no turnover, and she hits from the free throw line. Nice mid-range usage by Taylor Haynes. Now in transition, Bland Fitzpatrick almost had it stolen away. Falcons continue to swing it around. Gherkin on the right wing. Cross court to Harrison. Now to Bland Fitzpatrick towards the free throw line. Jaden Cook gets it down low, and Jaden Cook and one with the little baby hook shot with the left hand.
Cook right in time on that one to get it away, and just, you know, talking about Cook, it's been huge, just an example really of Bowling Green, as the turnovers have been huge against Defiance, and so has the defense been. And Cook so far just stepping up in 2 separate plays to contribute for Bowling Green. 14 points today as she is at the charity stripe.
And Cook continues her good shooting from the free throw line, 5 for 5 now, and 5 of 6 from the field, an efficient scoring output for her. As it's 86-23, 2:45 to go in this one, or in the third quarter in this one. And again, miscommunication. Cook has an easy steal, and Jaden Cook gets another and one. Jaden Cook.
What a day for Cook. We just got done talking about it. 17 points so far today, 5 for 5 from the free throw, and then also just the field goals going 6 out of 7. Just all of those being made so far. And I mean, her, Cecil as well, another one that are been huge just so far. But really, you're looking at these players. It's not just one person, but Cook is definitely stepping up so far today.
Jaden Cook will hit the free throw and continue her good shooting from there, as she now has 18 points, leading the Falcons. Fern a close second with 16, and Kohler with 14. Haynes brings it down the floor, passes it over to Caparros. Caparros passes it back, and it ends up out of bounds. Miscommunication on the back door. And right now, Defiance has 23 points and 21 turnovers as a team. Bowling Green only has 3 turnovers on the whole night. Gherkin left open on the left wing, and Lauren Gherkin hits from outside, got the feed from Cecil, as it's 92-23. Haynes brought it down the floor quickly, stolen away by Bland Fitzpatrick. Bland Fitzpatrick bobbled it, threw it down the floor, and that one is taken away by Kayla Houston. Houston gave it over to Mowen. Good backdoor pass to Caparros, and that one's blocked away. Emily Cecil gets the block, and now a whole platoon swap for the Falcons as Paige Kohler, Kaya Woods, Jasmine Fern, Tay Ellis, and Janea Donahue are the 5 now.
So Cecil going to check out, 9 points so far today, and Defiance now going to get an inbound with the score being 92-23. If Bowling Green scores 10 more points, that will be 1,000 given up by Defiance this season.
Drive to the basket, and Shawnee Little is fouled. They're going to call it on Donahue. Donahue now has 3 personal fouls in this game. It shouldn't be much of an issue, as I assume the coaching staff for the Falcons will continue to do these platoon swaps. Little's first free throw is good, as she is tied for the team lead with 7. And that has been from a perfect 5 for 5 from the free throw line. The second one is good as well for Little. Falcons inbound it, double team in the backcourt as Kohler gets it, gives it back to Donahue. Donahue, good pass down low to Woods, and Woods caught it and ran with the ball. Coach Shamil looking at Woods saying just lay it up. Little on the right side of the floor. Bounce pass over to Taylor Haynes. Haynes gives to Houston. Houston drives to the left and has that one rattle out, rebounded by Fern. Donahue, football style pass up the floor to Kohler. Kohler kicks it out to Fern, left wing. Jasmine Fern has that one, just hit off the back iron. Rebounded by Kohler. Kohler passed down low to Ellis. Ellis was fouled.
So another shot attempted by Fern right at the same part of the key where she made one earlier, and then more paint presence as well for Bowling Green as they will continue onward with that. And we'll see a little bit more action here. Taya Ellis going to go to the charity stripe so far for the Falcons.
Taya Ellis hits the first free throw, as now back-to-back games with a double-double. And the second one doesn't go in. It ends her perfect night from the free throw line. 93-25 with 52 seconds and a foul by Kaya Woods.
Attempting to slow down Defiance here is Woods. A little bit of a foul, but you're going to go against Bowling Green, as now both teams have a bonus as well as 5 fouls apiece. And going to be interesting to see what can happen now as Little will go to the charity stripe.
Woods now at 4 fouls on the night. And Little once again hits it. The previous trip hit both of the free throws as well, and she hasn't touched the rim a single time on them. Little will miss that one, and Taya Ellis fought for the rebound, gave it up to Kohler. Kohler to Donahue. Donahue brings it back out. Kohler tried to drive, had it stolen away. 40 seconds left now. Little goes to the basket. Finished it strong, 93-28. 33 seconds left in the third period. Donahue drives all the way without contests and gets fouled. Jonea Donahue will go for the Falcons' 23rd and 24th free throws.
So Donahue going to go up here again now, and only attempted one earlier in this game, so we'll see a little bit more action out of her, but 7 points accumulated so far today for Donahue. Has been 3 for 8 as well from the field goal.
And Donahue also 7 rebounds and 4 assists, along with 2 blocks, an all-around performance today. Some substitutions happening here. And now Donahue will take her first free throw. First free throw goes in with some help off the rim. As the Falcons scored 103 last game, they're already at 94 towards the end of this third. And Donahue hits the second, 95-28. As Donahue has 9 points now. Looking to become the 5th Falcon to be in double figures. Little drives down the floor, only 15 seconds left. The shot clock is off. Little passes it over to Haynes. Haynes with 10 seconds. Haynes goes to her right, pass across in the corner. Swung around before being blocked by Donahue. Kaya Woods throws it up. Donahue, last second, just misses the layup at the end of the quarter. As Donahue almost had the block and score. But we will take a short break as Bowling Green is up 95-28 over Defiance. You're listening to Falcon Women's Basketball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
You could listen to WBGU 88.1 FM, or you could be part of the action. Volunteer with WBGU FM in a variety of roles, including on-air, promotions, social media, music selection, and much more. Positions are always available to students and the local community. For more information, visit the WBGU Facebook page. Volunteer with Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU 88.1 FM. The return to radio freedom.
Bowling Green Gymnastics host the Eastern Michigan Eagles for a dual meet at the Stroh Center on Sunday, January 11th, starting at 2 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network will have coverage following the conclusion of the meet, available on bgfalconmedia.com.
Falcon Media Sports Network produces weekly short-form and long-form social media pieces for in-season sports all year long. Make sure to check out at BG_FMSN on Twitter/X and at BG Falcon Media on Instagram and Facebook to view the content.
Hi, my name is Taya Ellis, and I play on the women's Bowling Green basketball team. And these are my Falcon 4 favorite meals to cook. One is this Jamaican meal called oxtail rice and peas. That's one of my favorites because my mom and dad used to cook it growing up, so it just continued on. Another one is tacos because it's just easy, something easy and quick to make. My third one, I would have to go with steak and mashed potatoes because who doesn't love steak and mashed potatoes? My last one, I'd say Alfredo because I love some pasta.
Check out more Falcon athletic coverage online at bgfalconmedia.com.
Welcome back. Adam Duffin joined alongside by Dan Ridenauer as Bowling Green is up 95-28 over the Defiance Yellow Jackets. So far for the Falcons, Jaden Cook has 18, followed by Jasmine Fern with 16, Paige Kohler with 14, Tay Ellis with 12, and Janea Donahue and Emily Cecil both at 9, as Lorena Caparros will inbound right in front of us to Little. Little thought about making a pass underneath, decided not to, and swatted away by Donahue. And out of bounds, it will stay Yellow Jackets basketball.
Donahue's been playing really well on defense so far. I mean, 7 rebounds, just a stat you can't overlook, is really able to recover, and then also on the blocking. That's going to be her 4th block of the night.
And she just got another ball tipped out of bounds. Taylor Haynes gets the inbound, tried to spin inside, poked away by Kohler. Kohler makes a bounce pass down low to Woods, and Woods tries to do an acrobatic layup, misses underneath. Fern had it, got it blocked. Now a fight underneath, and they're going to call 3 seconds as Coach Emile wants an explanation for that one, but Yellow Jackets will have the ball nonetheless. Little over to Haynes. Haynes on the right wing, guarded by Kaya Woods. Drives hard at the basket, and they're going to say an offensive foul on Haynes as she hit Woods up towards the head and knocked her off balance.
Couple rough goes at it for Bowling Green, Adam, though it just occurred right now, but overall still Bowling Green very much so has the momentum in their favor.
Kaya Woods brought up the floor. Couple passes lead to Kohler on the left wing. Kohler gives it to Fern, left corner. Fern just has that one go off the side of the rim. Haynes gets the rebound. Makes a good backdoor pass and a great finish by Caparros.
Jasmine Fern just going to be able to inbound it again, and now Bowling Green again on the rush.
95-30. Fern passed towards the free throw line to Donahue. Donahue to Kohler in the corner. Paige Kohler has that go off the back iron. Rebound by Little. Then she lost it. Kaya Woods underneath gets a free layup as 3 Yellow Jackets were right there, and Kaya Woods had an open lane. Quickly down the floor, Haynes takes a shot and misses. Rebounded by Woods. Woods looking for help down the floor, gives it to Donahue. Donahue bounce pass to Kohler. Kohler tries to go strong inside. A little bump mid-range fade. And Kohler makes it 99-30. Haynes in transition quickly takes a mid-range shot, misses that one. Rebound by Ellis. Ellis gets her 12th board of the game. Kohler quickly down the floor. Gave it to Donahue. Donahue gives it right back off the back iron. Rebound by Ellis. Ellis does a move inside and finishes it strong as Bowling Green now 101-30. And there will be a timeout called as the Falcons have a 71-point lead.
And
this timeout, sorry, Dan. This timeout is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company, proud creators of Ale Ziggy Zumba, a light ale made in collaboration with BG Athletics and available at Juniper Brewing Company on South Main Street in Northwest Ohio Kroger stores. Details at juniperbrew.com. We'll stay here. I'll let you get to your point, Dan.
And with that, Adam, thank you very much. Just jumping a little ahead of myself here, but I mean, with the 101st point of this game, Defiance is now knocking on the doorstep. They've given up 999 points this season. Just a rough go at it, and a little bit more going for Defiance, and just so close. They've only scored 30 today. We got 7 minutes and 42 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Not the first time so far that they've allowed 100 in a game. It's been very difficult for them on the defensive end in this season, as the Falcons have 4 players in double digits, 2 players at 9 points knocking on the doorstep.
Well, and I'm curious too, Adam. I mean, you were at the game where they played Kentucky State, and Bowling Green was, dominant in that. They've gotten to the century mark before, but I mean, overall, are there some comparisons between those two games, or what have you seen so far?
I would say the biggest difference in the games is the Falcons haven't turned it over as much, only 7 so far. I'm pretty sure they had at least 7 in both halves during that game. And it's been a little different. It hasn't been a million steals for the Falcons. I mean, they do have 14 steals, but Donahue against Kentucky State had 8 in the first half, and only has 1 so far tonight. Also has 3 blocks. So they're getting it done in a little different of a way, and the three-point shot is not falling as good as it did Wednesday night, but the Falcons have scored at an even better rate just because they've been able to get down low, and they're 87% from free throw, 21 of 24.
Exactly, Adam. And looking at Defiance, too, on the opposite end of the court, they're 1 for 8 right now from 3. And then you look at it a little bit more. From the charity stripe, Bowling Green is 87.5%. Defiance is 55%. And then also the field goal, only 18% today for Defiance. So 2 little just situations you got to look at. And then the rebounds as well. Defiance is not taking advantage of the rebounds that they get. It's 18 so far today for them. But also, I would definitely say the Achilles heel today for the Yellow Jackets, as you mentioned, Adam, is the turnovers.
It's been a difficult time so far for the Yellow Jackets as players head back onto the court. Joniah Bland-Fitzpatrick, Kiara Miller, Jaden Cook, Emily Cecil, and Lauren Gherkin will be the Falcon 5 out there. And the inbound is to Shawnee Little. Little trying to get by a double team, throws it over into the corner to Crow. Crow turns it over as Cecil has it now. Cecil brings it up the floor to the Falcons. Finds Gherkin, left wing. Lauren Gherkin has that one rattle in and out. Long rebound, and it will be off of the Falcons. Yellow Jackets get possession.
A little bit of a scruffle for the ball just near the end of it, and Defiance will get the inbound, but just because you have the inbound doesn't mean it's going to always go in your favor. I mean, Defiance today has just turned the ball over with miscommunication time and time and again.
Now up to 26 turnovers for Defiance as Little passes out to Houston. Houston made the pass over to Monet McElroy, who misses her shot as it was her first minute into the ball game. Gherkin left wing again. This time has it hit off the front of the iron, and Little went for the long rebound, and if she just let it go, it would have been Yellow Jackets' ball. Instead, her foot was out. The Falcons get possession.
Exactly, Adam, and we talked about it just time and time again with the miscommunication and just not really having that basketball IQ, but Little, just a foot, barely got in the paint, and that's going to be done.
Cecil gets the inbound to Cook, and Cook missed an open layup from the left side. Caparros brings it down the floor, passes it in the corner. Little, left wing, pass to the right corner, shot by Crow, missed. Cook gets the rebound. Kiara Miller has it, bobbled it, and loses it out of bounds. A bad turnover for the Falcons.
So another situation, Adam, where the ball just kind of gets a little bit ahead of yourself and, kind of just gets it even because Defiance had one just now, and then now it's going to be the Falcons as Defiance has it at half court.
Little try to make a bounce pass. It goes off the shin of Miller. And Kendall Moxie comes in for Jaden Cook. Sophia Moskane comes in for Lauren Gherkin. And Layla Harrison is trying to figure out who she's supposed to go in for. And it's Emily Cecil as she was looking over to the bench for some help. 101-30, Bowling Green over Defiance. And this inbound pass is thrown high in the sky before Monet McElroy gets it. Hands it off to Little. Little guarded by Moskane. A foot difference in height in that matchup. A shot is thrown up and rebounded by Kiara Miller. Miller drives hard to the left, makes a good move, misses. Moxie gets the rebound, gets it twice in a row after her own miss, and Kendall Moxie makes it 103-30. The Falcons scored 103 on Wednesday night. They got it with 5:50 to go in the fourth. Pass inside to Caparros. Caparros out to Crow, and Crow hits from outside.
The second Defiance three-pointer today, and it's going to make it a 33-game but 70-point lead for the Falcons as Defiance has given up over 1,000 points this season.
Kiara Miller got fouled in transition by Shawnee Little, as Bland Fitzpatrick will be the one to inbound. 70-point lead for the Falcons. Keep a close eye on that, as their 71-point win on Wednesday against Kentucky State is their largest margin of victory in program history. Joniah Bland Fitzpatrick passes it inside to Kendall Moxie. An easy layup from the left side. 105-33 now. Caparros drives to the left side of the basket, and that layup is good. Kiara Miller drives by Caparros, has some space to operate, gives it to Moskane. Moskane hands it right back off to Miller. Miller hits the three. Kiara Miller, the only true freshman on the roster, hits from outside. Dribbled outside by Azaria Smith. Smith drives hard to the basket, tries to shoot over Kendall Moxie, doesn't have it fall. Long rebound, Moskane gets it. Moskane looking for help in transition, gives it over to Miller, right wing. Miller fakes, drives, gets fouled. Caparros will get the personal foul.
So another Defiance foul as Caparros will go on for that one, and that'll be the third foul for Defiance so far in this contest, as we're going to start rolling along here. 108-35 is the score here at the Stroh Center.
And this timeout for the media timeout is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company. You can find the latest menu at juniperbrew.com. 108-35. You're listening to Falcon Women's Basketball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Are you ready to become part of the team? Northwest Ohio's community radio station is looking for new volunteers just like you. Join our team of enthusiastic volunteers that help make WBGU 88.1 FM a success. WBGU is Northwest Ohio's community radio station. Visit our social media pages for more recruitment information. WBGU, return to radio freedom.
If you ever miss the Zig Zone on Sundays from 4 to 6 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, or just want to re-listen to the program, each show is posted in full on bgfalconmedia.com with timestamps so you can skip ahead to your favorite part.
Continue the WBGU experience online by engaging with our social media profiles on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Subscribe to our feeds to stay connected with the local community and receive information about special events and programming. Like us and share our content to help build the WBGU audience. 88.1 FM WBGU Bowling Green is Northwest Ohio's community radio station.
Welcome back to the Stroh Center, 108-35 Bowling Green over Defiance. As the Falcons will look to inbound the ball underneath the basket on the right side. Harrison, Bland Fitzpatrick, Moxie, Mose Kane, and Miller are the five. As a fan just won a voucher to get some free food at Wendy's. And now they are about to be given the all clear to resume. The horn rings, and Miller will inbound. Miller tosses up to Mose Kane, and immediately there's a foul called as that will be on Kayla Houston as she held Mose Kane on the inbound, and Houston fouls out of this ball game. The second player to foul out, as Jordan Wynn did in the third quarter. Shawnee Little will be the one to check in. As Defiance is at 4 fouls, the next one will put the Falcons in the bonus. Miller gets the ball, dribbles it back out towards midcourt. Falcons swing it around. Bland Fitzpatrick, past the left wing. Mose Kane hits that one. Sophia Mose Kane continues her shooting from Wednesday night and hits from outside. Little driving, throws it over Caparros. Caparros takes the three, has that one miss. Rebound by Thomas underneath. Thomas goes strong, just misses that one as Kiara Miller gets the rebound. Miller passes it over to Layla Harrison. Harrison gives it right back. Ball is swung around to Mose Kane. Mose Kane stops at the free throw line, backs out. Bland Fitzpatrick drives the left side of the basket, and they're going to say she did a carry, and that will be the 9th turnover on the night for the Falcons.
Wild to see the difference just in turnovers between Bowling Green and Defiance overall in this game, and really what's kind of been leading to it. I mean, 27 for Defiance and then 9 also as this one rolls along.
Caparros passes it in the corner. That one hits off the top of the backboard for McElroy, and in transition, Miller gives it to Bland Fitzpatrick. Janiyah Bland Fitzpatrick gets herself her 6th point on the night. Little over to Caparros. Caparros gives it right back. Little launches for 3, and that one falls short. Will go out of bounds. 113-35. With 3:08 left in this game.
So a larger lead, Adam, than Wednesday, and Bowling Green really just steering the ship for the rest of this game with around just 3 minutes to go as they'll drive it in now.
Kiara Miller gives it to Mose Kane. Mose Kane to Bland Fitzpatrick. She tries to drive towards the free throw line, decides to back out. Tries to do a backdoor pass. It's tipped, and it will remain Falcon basketball. They'll inbound from underneath the basket with 13 on the shot clock. Miller gets it, passes underneath the Moxie. Moxie misses the first layup attempt. Goes again and gets fouled.
So another foul against Defiance, going to be the 5th one, and Bowling Green will get the bonus due to that. And Bowling Green has yet to foul in this quarter, but overall you look at Defiance, already have 5 just undisciplined basketball, and when you're down by such a large margin, you know you got to be frustrated.
Moxie, 6 points, 5 rebounds in the night so far. Has that one hit off the back iron as she now moves to 2 and 3 from the line. The second one also hits off the back iron and is no good. Rebounded by Crow, given to Little. Little to Caparros. Caparros has he moved before giving it to Little. Gets it back in the corner. Caparros pass to Thomas. Over to Little. Right wing. Little misses that 3. And they're going to say foul down low on the Falcons. Pass up towards midcourt. Moxie got a hand on it away from Thomas. Caparros. It's the top of the key. Dribbling now towards the free throw line. 6 on the shot clock. Caparros, tough hook shot, tipped a little bit by Moxie, and out of bounds off of Janiyah Bland-Fitzpatrick. Yellow Jackets ball.
And another one for Defiance to hopefully gain possession and use a little bit of that to their momentum. But, you know, Bowling Green only with one foul they got in the previous altercation. But here we'll go now. Going to be inbound for Defiance.
Thomas working against Moxie down low. Crow gets the ball and misses a layup. Little gets it after it bounces outside. That one missed. And Miller will end up getting the rebound. Miller drives all the way down the lane and gets fouled. Another trip to the free throw line for the Falcons. Their 27th and 28th free throws coming up.
Just due for an Adam, and you're going to have to see this now, what will be the result of it. But now I'm going to see Kiera Miller go, and I mean, so far today, just seeing how she's been, just one of those people you got to look out for overall. And here Miller will go just to attempt her first free throw of the day.
Miller, the only true freshman on this roster, was in the starting lineup the first couple games, then was moved out of it, but she has shown the ability to score and has 8 points now. Someone that this program is very excited about, and she hits the second one as well. 9 points, 3 of 4 from the field, one of those being a triple. 1:15-35, minute 45 to go in this game. Little drives towards the right elbow, gives it to Crow. Crow gives it back to Little on the right wing. Now passed into the corner. Crow moved it around inside before it's lost and taken away. Bland-Fitzpatrick to Miller, right wing. Kiera Miller has that one go in and out. Long rebound, and Bland-Fitzpatrick just couldn't save it. Good hustle as she dove on the ground for it.
I've had a lot of those close calls today, Adam, just not only for Bowling Green, but Defiance as well. And when you're right at the line, you got to wonder if you're able to keep it in or not. But either it's trying to get it out on the inbound, or it's trying to get it just to avoid your feet from going out. It's going to be tough to call sometimes, as Defiance will have it.
Pass over to Caparros. Caparros tries to drive inside, and it will be a traveling violation as the ball was tipped away and she started running with it. 1:15-35 as we reach the minute mark here at the Stroh Center. Miller pass it to Mose Kane left side. Mose Kane, and the Falcons swung it around before Bland-Fitzpatrick threw it away as she was looking for Kiera Miller.
Miscommunication for Bowling Green. Fitzpatrick to get that, but Defiance with Little to have the ball now.
Ball is taken away from Smith as Layla Harrison dove on the ground for it. Bowling Green has the possession arrow, and they'll take over with 46.1 left in this game. Miller trying to set up the offense. 20 on the shot clock. The Falcons could just let it go out if they wanted to. Mose Kane gets the ball, gives it right back to Miller. Miller drives towards the top of the key, gives it to Bland-Fitzpatrick. Over Mose Kane, left corner. Mose Kane has that one go too long. Rebounded by Harrison. Harrison goes up strong on the right side. Layla Harrison gets the and one.
Great opportunity for Harrison to not only get on the board, but also just take advantage of your opportunity. That's been the deciding factor for Bowling Green today, is just finding when your opportunity is and taking advantage of it. Here we'll go now. That'll be her 4th point today.
And she hits the free throw to get up to 5 on the night. 118-35, an 83-point lead for the Falcons and 13 seconds away from it being officially a victory. Caparros tries to drive inside, lost it, leads to a shot for Little. Little misses. Rebound by Bland-Fitzpatrick, and she hits it off the foot of Peyton Manning, not spelled the same way as the NFL Hall of Famer. And the clock hits 0, 118-35, as the Falcons just had their largest win in franchise history on Wednesday of 71. They win by 83 here today. Dan, any final thoughts before we have our interviews with assistant coach Katie Hempfling and our BG Food and Drink Guide player of the game, Jasmine Fern?
What I'm really impressed about with Bowling Green today is they didn't play down to their competition. When you look at a team like Defiance, you're like, oh, we can take it easy. It's just an automatic win. You can't have that mentality, and especially with Kentucky State as well and rolling along into this, just not playing down to the competition, playing the game you know how to play, and just seeing an outstanding performance by Jasmine Fern today. Unbelievable to see how this all rolled along for Bowling Green. 118-35 is the final score.
Well, thank you for being with me, Dan, and stick around for post-game coverage from Ben Korak and Holden Ruck, and I will have a couple interviews with Katie Hempfling and Jasmine Fern in just a few minutes. You're listening to Falcon Women's Basketball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Complement your WBGU radio experience with additional content available online. Subscribe to our social media feeds on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to receive information about special events, promotional activities, and our program schedule. Stay connected with WBGU wherever you go and return to Radio Freedom. Thanks for listening to WBGU Bowling Green, Ohio.
On Saturday, January 10th, the Falcon hockey team continues their weekend series in Big Rapids, Michigan to take on the Ferris State Bulldogs. Saturday's puck drop is set for 6:07 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak will have live play-by-play coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM, the home of Falcon hockey. You are listening to Falcon Media Sports Network coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM in Bowling Green, Ohio.
Ever heard of Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcast on Falcon Radio or WBGU 88.1 FM but don't know where to listen? Well, set down the radio, pick up your phone, and go to bgfalconmedia.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to stream Falcon Radio and WBGU 88.1 FM for all broadcasts.
BGSU women's basketball returns to the Stroh Center for their third straight home match against the Defiance Yellow Jackets on Sunday, December 7th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Adam Duffin and Daniel Ridenauer with pregame at 12:45 and tip-off at 1 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Gus Peacock from the Bowling Green men's soccer team, and this is my Falcon 4 favorite Halloween costumes. My first one is going to be Bigfoot because I think it's really funny and he looks super big. My next one is going to be one of the founding fathers, Ben Frank. I'm going to do that this year. I think it's really funny. Another one, my favorite costumes would be Art the Clown because he's super scary and I've watched all the Terrifier movies. And the last one would be Buddy the Elf, because I love that costume and I love that movie so much.
You are listening to Falcon Media Sports Network coverage live on 88.1 FM and streaming on bgfalconmedia.com.
Welcome back to the Stroh Center as the Falcons defeat Defiance 118-35. I'm joined by assistant coach Katie Hempfling. Katie, an offensive explosion, a bunch of players scoring in double figures, 4 to be exact, a couple players at 9. How great is it to just see overall the whole team flowing offensively?
Yeah, I think it's great to see the ball movement. That was one of our keys to the games today was ball movement and / player movement. And, having 22 assists, that's the highest assists we've had in a game to date, is really telling. And that also gets the ball moving, and it gets the people the best shot for the team.
You talk about the ball movement. Jasmine Fern was able to hit 4 threes today, and part of that was she was left open after multiple passes. How great was it to see her get going from beyond the arc?
Oh, it's awesome for her to get going from 3 and just feeling that confidence, letting it fly. I think that's what we needed, especially with the tough November schedule and coming back home and playing some home games. Just getting their confidence and gelling as a team and finding out, really stamping our defense down as well.
You talk about the tough November schedule. Now you've bounced back to 5-4, a positive record again. How great is it to get this streak going right as you lead up into conference play later this month?
Yeah, I think it's huge for us to get this going right before conference, because we have a couple more games, and then it's the 20th. We hit Kent State at home, which is a big one, and honestly, every game in the MAC's a big one. I played in it, so night in and night out, you can never take days off, and I think in games like this, you just really try to focus on yourself and stay disciplined. At times, I don't think we were that disciplined, but in the end, I think the best thing we can, of course, we're happy for a win, but we can watch some film and learn from us.
It's funny you say you're not exactly satisfied with certain things when this is the largest win in program history, and Wednesday's was the previous record.
Yeah.
So it's been very relieving to have those big wins, but thank you for joining us on the post-game
show. Of
course.
Thank you. Appreciate
and
it.
We will have Jasmine Fern in just a few minutes as Ben and Holden will have the rest of our coverage. You're listening to Falcon Women's Basketball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
There's so much more WBGU content available online through our social media profiles on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Subscribe to our feeds to get the most up-to-date information about the program schedule, show hosts, and upcoming promotional events. Return to Radio Freedom with WBGU on 88.1 FM and online social media profiles.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
This is Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU 88.1 FM. Like, follow, and subscribe to our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter feeds for access to special content, program and DJ information, and so much more. Return to Radio Freedom with WBGU on 88.1 FM and online with our social media profiles. Thanks for listening to WBGU Bowling Green, Ohio.
Falcon Media Sports Network writes and publishes over 1,000 stories per year, including game previews, recaps, sidebars, opinion pieces, feature stories, and more. Head over to bgfalconmedia.com to view all of our content for every sport throughout the year.
Hi, I'm Lauren Hovey on the BGSU volleyball team, and these are my Falcon 4 off-day activities. My first one would be spend time with family and friends if they're in town, because I love them. My second one would be read my book, because it's relaxing. My third one would be go get coffee, because who doesn't love coffee? And my fourth one would be go get groceries so I can make food for the week.
Did you know Falcon Media Sports Network has video highlights of BGSU athletic events?
To see all the moments from your favorite BGSU teams and athletes, head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel or view them on bgfalconmedia.com.
You are listening to Falcon Media Sports Network coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM in Bowling Green, Ohio.
You're listening to 88.1 FM WBGU. Enjoy local news content starting with the morning show, and stick around for entertainment programs focused on jazz, blues, folk, world music, and so much more. Return to Radio Freedom with WBGU by listening live 24/7. Available locally on 88.1 FM or streaming online on bgfalconmedia.com and the TuneIn Radio app. WBGU, Northwest Ohio's community radio station.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
WBGU-FM is Northwest Ohio's community radio station. Tune in daily for local programming that includes the morning show, oldies, indie rock, children's music, folk, jazz, world music, and so much more. WBGU is the return to Radio Freedom. Give us a listen on 88.1 FM or online at bgfalconmedia.com and the TuneIn Radio app. 88.1 FM WBGU, Northwest Ohio's community radio station.
Hi, I'm Taylor Dyson from BGSU Men's Soccer, and these are my Falcon 4 teammates that I would like to have in the Hunger Games. The first one would be Brennan Graves, because he's pretty much built like a bear. He's a big guy. The second I would like Josh Erlinson, just because he knows all that wilderness stuff. He's good in the woods. The third one I'd have Trace Terra, just because he's a tall guy and he can reach a lot of stuff that I can't. And the fourth guy would be Mads Christiansen, because if we ever got in trouble, he would be the first person we sacrifice. Thank you.
On Saturday, January 3rd, BGSU hockey continues their weekend series against Ohio State. The Falcons will host the Buckeyes at the Slater Family Ice Arena with puck drop set for 6:07 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak and Nathan Burkett will be on the call, with pregame beginning at 5:45 on WBGU 88.1 FM, the home of Falcon hockey.
Return to Radio Freedom with 88.1 FM WBGU. Northwest Ohio's community radio station offers local programming from the morning show to eclectic music shows from a variety of genres and local sports coverage. So keep it locked in right here on 88.1 FM or stream us live 24/7 on bgfalconmedia.com and the TuneIn Radio app. 88.1 FM WBGU, Northwest Ohio's community radio station.
In Bowling Green football's 41-17 season opening victory over Fordham on August 29th, junior Justin Pace set a program record with a 100-yard kickoff return touchdown on the first play of the game. Falcon Media Sports Network's Reese Patricus had the call on Falcon Radio.
Go back up and field it on the goal line. Trying to take to the right, got some blocks, got a hole. Peg was down the far sideline, and he's got space in front of him. 10, 5, touchdown BG brings back the opening kickoff. What a way to start the season.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Unlike other local sources, Falcon Media Sports Network and BG Falcon Media will never charge a paywall to view our content. However, if you are looking to support student media, you can donate at the bottom of our stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Ever heard of Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcasts on Falcon Radio or WBGU 88.1 FM but don't know where to listen? Well, set down the radio, pick up your phone, and go to bgfalconmedia.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to stream Falcon Radio and WBGU 88.1 FM for all broadcasts.
Broadcasting from the Michael and Sarah Killeen Center on the campus of Bowling Green State University, this is WBGU 88.1 FM, your source for local news, music, and sports. Return to Radio Freedom with Northwest Ohio's community radio station. Available locally on 88.1 FM or streaming online on bgfalconmedia.com and the TuneIn Radio app. WBGU Bowling Green, Northwest Ohio's community radio station.
The Zig Zone, Falcon Media Sports Network's weekly radio show dedicated to BGSU athletics, has a new segment. Make sure to tune into the show every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. to listen to the one-on-one segment, where Holden Ruck will interview a key figure in BGSU athletics.
Be a part of the Return to Radio Freedom on WBGU FM. Our non-commercial programming efforts rely on the support of our local community. WBGU offers sponsorship opportunities in the form of underwriting. Underwriting is an effective method of gaining exposure for your business in Northwest Ohio and helps us continue producing local content. For more information regarding underwriting sponsorship at WBGU, visit bgfalconmedia.com.
Check out bgfalconmedia.com for previews, recaps, photos, videos, and more of the Falcons.
Welcome back to the Stroh Center as I'm with the BG Falcon Media Food and Drink Guide player of the game, Jasmine Fern. The BG Falcon Media Food and Drink Guide provides the latest food and drink specials from local restaurants. You can find it on our homepage, bgfalconmedia.com, or simply go to our top navigation, mouse over life, and click on food and drink. Jasmine, it was a quick start for you after you hit a couple threes. You had 4 in the night. How were you able to get so open and knock from outside?
Yeah, I think just staying confident in my shot and preparing like during practice, just working with my coaches, and yeah.
Now defensively, only 35 points allowed. They almost had the same amount of turnovers as they had points. How were you able to communicate with your teammates to just have that overall defensive effort?
Yeah, we're really big on loading the eye and really helping our teammates and staying in front and no direct line drives and no middle.
Now, last question, how great is it to just get this win streak going and have momentum heading into the later part of this month when you begin MAC play?
Yeah, it's really good. It builds a lot of confidence for us, especially going into MAC play.
Okay, well, thank you for sitting down for this interview as you're our Food and Drink Guide player of the game, and best of luck with finals this week.
Thank you.
Okay, well, that will do it all here from the Stroh Center as the Falcons win 118-35 over Defiance. And with that, in this broadcast, I'm Adam Duffin. Have a good night, Falcon fans.
The BGSU women's swim team heads to Akron's Okasik Natatorium on Thursday for the Zippy Invitational. The Falcons will compete against 6 teams, including MAC rivals Buffalo and Akron. Events will take place throughout the weekend, and Falcon Media Sports Network's Carter Leonard will have a recap of the Zippy Invitational on bgfalconmedia.com.
Back here in the Cooling Center studios in WBGU 88.1 FM, Ben Korak here from the Falcon Media Sports Network. You just heard the wrap of coverage from the Stroh Center on Bowling Green women's basketball. They had a 118-35 victory over Defiance College, who came to town for the 9th game of the season for the women's basketball team, and now up to 5-4 in overall record are the Falcons. So back up to winning. They have 2 more games before they head into MAC play. That's against Lemoyne on December 16th on the Tuesday at 11 a.m. Yeah, 11 a.m. You didn't hear that incorrectly. That's going to be in the Stroh Center, broadcast by the Falcon Media Sports Network on WBGU 88.1 FM. And then the other game will be against Lourdes on December 14th, 2 days before on the Sunday at 2 p.m., a week from today. That's a team that beat Defiance by a similar margin than Bowling Green beat Defiance today. So a pretty difficult opponent compared to how Defiance and Kentucky State fared against the Falcons, to 70-plus point wins for Bowling Green over both of their last 2 opponents, and they'll try and beat Lourdes again before they head into MAC play 2 games from now on December 20th on the Saturday. Going over today's stats for the Bowling Green women's basketball team, starting out with the point leader from the Falcons, Jaden Cook, 18 points, 6 for 8 from the field, 6 for 6 from the free throw line for the Falcons. Closest thing to a center so far this season, maybe Taya Ellis as well, but those are the 2 biggest bodies for the Falcons that play in the paint. 2 rebounds, 2 steals, and 1 block today, and 9 minutes played. Only 9 minutes for Jaden Cook and 18 points. Impressive layup day for Cook. Tied for the second lead in points, Paige Kohler and Jasmine Farron. Paige Kohler, 6 for 16 from the field, 1 for 9 from three-point range. The three-point shooter, not with the best day from outside the arc today. 3 for 4 from free throw line, but also 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, only 1 turnover in 26 minutes of play. Not a single foul for Paige Kohler, the guard for the Falcons. Jasmine Fern, who is the Food and Drink Guide player of the game, as you heard the interview with Adam Duffin just a bit ago. 16 points on 6 for 12 from the field, 4 for 10 from three-point range, 2 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 turnover, and 1 foul committed in 18 minutes of play had Jasmine Fern. I believe she started as well, but she had a fantastic game, one of the best of her career in the orange and brown. The only one in real foul trouble was Kaya Woods. She played 11 minutes, only had 2 points, 3 rebounds, though, for the guard, 3 steals, 1 assist, and 4 personal fouls for Kaya Woods against Defiance today. And the other game worth mentioning, Taya Ellis had 14 points, 13 rebounds for a double-double, 2 blocks, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 turnover, and 13 rebounds, as I mentioned before. Janae Donahue, who was a little bit quiet today, at least shooting-wise. She finished a point away from double digits, 3 for 9 from the field, still 3 for 3 from free throw line, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks, 3 personal fouls, and 1 turnover. Fantastic defense today, maybe not too present offensively, but the Falcons were able to distribute the ball enough to get every single person that recorded a minute a point, which is impressive for Bowling Green to be able to do. 118-35 is their largest margin of victory in the history of the Bowling Green women's basketball program. This is 2 games in a row that they've set that mark with their 103-32 win over Kentucky State last Wednesday, and now this Sunday, 118-35. That also marks the worst game of the season for Defiance. They had just sub 100 points given up against Eastern Michigan. This is their most given up of the season, and this is the least that they've scored in a game where they've given up 100. So Defiance struggling early on in their season as well, but against a D1 opponent, the NAIA school will fall to another loss in their overall record. You'll be hearing a lot from me today because the Zig Zone comes on at 4 p.m. and because of some other scheduling conflicts, as well as some people studying for finals, as maybe I should be doing, but you pick your battles, and the battle that I'm waging today is against the Zig Zone. The Zig Zone coming on at 4 p.m. as every Sunday. It will be the last Zig Zone scheduled before our Christmas break starts, and then the next one will be on January 18th. So this is the last one for quite a while. We'll talk about football, men's men's basketball, women's basketball, and hockey during the Zig Zone starting at 4 p.m. So make sure to stay tuned to WBGU 88.1 FM for that. Also going to go on Falcon Radio in just a little bit at 4 p.m. as well. So you'll have to choose between the Zig Zone and Bowling Green men's basketball. They play Aquinas College at home in the Stroh Center as the Stroh Center switches from women's to men's. That game going on at 4 p.m. The Falcon Media Sports Network will have a broadcast on Falcon Radio with the studio show starting at about 3:35. So make sure to tune in for Falcon basketball on Falcon Radio, streaming in bgfalconmedia.com, or to tune into the Zig Zone right here on WBGU 88.1 FM at 4 p.m. So until we talk to you during the Zig Zone, we will say good afternoon from WBGU 88.1 FM, and we'll talk to you next time for Bowling Green women's basketball here on WBGU 88.1 FM.